All right, boom. What's happening, folks? Hey, thanks for your time, man. Appreciate it, man. Like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Most importantly, pay attention. All right, so this video, what's the title going to be on this one? This one, you know, there's a lot of reasons why I'm doing this one specifically. So I'll just call this one We Were Here First. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. We were here first. And I'm going to say that. I'll be more specific. We were in the Americas first. That's all I'll say. You see, the reason why I'm doing this, number one, uh, you know, this whole huge immigration struggle within the politics today, it just really, you know what I'm saying? The reason why, not only does it get me, but it's like when I feel inside, I go, the nerve of you, right? And let me tell you why I feel like that. It's because, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy how somebody can walk in your house, right? Tell you it's not your house no more, kick you and your family out the house, kill most of your family, right? Let you live in the shed, right? And then after he's that motherfucker been living in your house, then he want to tell you and everybody else who can come in and around that house. When at the end of the fucking day, that house has never belonged to that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? So that's you see why it's so dangerous. Why it's so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That we live in a world where people can be not only just misled, but people can be bought, sold, right? Uh, Civilizations and people's land resources can be liquidated and flipped. And when we live in a world like that, people who do that type of shit will only see things that way. So after a while, to be that savage, it's second nature. You see what I'm saying? So then when someone starts, when that becomes second nature, it's like, then any type of process thinking after that is logical to them. It's deemed logical because they have made it to that space where, look, this is what it is. This is how it's always going to be. And so from that, you evolve. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that it's dangerous. That's why it's so dangerous, the place we're in, where a group of people, a race of people specifically, who are actually not even, haven't even been on this earth, not even 10,000 years. They're not even older than people that have already been here. Not only have colonized the whole goddamn world, but now they're telling people in that world where to fucking go and how to live. You see what I'm saying? So now the reason why, like I said, I'm doing this is because, family, I want to let y'all know that, most of the time it looks like everything is lost, right? And it looks like not only have they won, they're going to stay winning. But what you need to understand is, look, the truth, man, the truth will always reveal itself. That's number one. The truth always just finds a way to pop itself out. Because, see, my daddy told me this a long time ago. He said, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You see what I'm saying? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. But see, if motherfuckers lie all day, they have to have a good memory because they have to remember all those fucking lies that they done stacked on top of each other. Because if you don't, one of them shit's gonna slip out. They gonna slip out, right? So, you know, that's where we are right now. I feel like we're at that time of revealing. We're at that time of judgment, truth, you know what I'm saying? Enlightenment. Some people call it being woke, whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but we're definitely in a time of reckoning, so to speak. You feel me? And so, with that being said, we got, like I said, we got a president that's trying to tell people what to do when they've already killed off the people's land that they're sitting on, the Indians, being the Indians. I mean, good luck even finding a full-blooded Native American if you're not in Oklahoma. And good luck even finding them in Oklahoma, just because of the fact that they're damn near extinct. You know what I mean? And we know why they're damn near extinct is because the Europeans came through and wiped them the fuck out. They were literally paying people You know what I'm saying? Like per skull, like you bring back goddamn 10 Indian skulls, we paying you. Like it was fucking animals. The same way they was treating black people when they got a hold of us, like animals. So my point is that when you deal with people that treat anything that doesn't look like them like animals, you have to understand, number one, that motherfucker might be an animal. If everything they touch they treat like animals. And then number two, that is what is gonna destroy this fucking world if we keep letting this shit ride. You understand what I'm saying? But before anything, you gotta know why I'm saying what I'm saying. When I say we came to the Americas first, when I say we are first, you gotta understand why I'm saying that. Because right now, if you wanna, if you wanna look up who came first, or or what people or what civilizations originated culture or whatever, if you go to Google right now, you fuck around, you type in Adam and Eve, and then you go to your images part, you are not going to see the truth. So we know that historians, quote unquote historians, people that write history about what happened, we know that they lie, bald face, lie. We know that, right? We know that. We know right now if you type in goddamn Adam and Eve, the quote unquote first people, and you go to your images, every picture you see will be a goddamn lie, right? So it's not even about educating people. It's not about telling them the honest truth. It's about giving them a certain type of truth, right? Because we understand the fact that whoever controls information, whoever controls history, controls you and everything that you think and how you think. But most importantly, the ones who are controlling the history, they have to be some of the oldest motherfuckers around. That's my point. You cannot. How is your son gonna tell your grandfather's history? How does that happen? How does your son talk about what happened in his grandfather's day? How does that happen? The only way that can happen is grandfather tells son what he went through, right? But even then, what he tells him is only just a glimpse, right? Because you ain't hearing it from the horse's mouth, right? So my point is that no book that a son can write can be as accurate as the fucking old man who lived in those goddamn days. So how the fuck do we allow motherfuckers who are young, when you look at the evolution of human beings, are the youngest? How the fuck do they tell us who's been around when we're the ones that have been here before them? How the fuck does that work? How you gonna tell me goddamn Adam and Eve is white when white people can't have black kids? How the fuck does that work? White people can't have black kids. So how you gonna tell me they were the first? That's because you want to call yourself the first. And see, it's not about the information. It's not about actually giving you legit information. So we can't sit there, not only accept the shit, but we can't sit there and play it off like it's not a deliberate intent to throw fucking truth out the way and put lies in the front. So we need to understand, people, that it's obviously, it's deeper than what you think it is. What you look up, understand who's writing it, right? What you study, understand who's researched it and whose references, whose sources are you going off of. And that person, what type of mind? Are they a person who believes that people should be enslaved and treated like fucking animals? You gonna take that history? Okay. So then how is that person unbiasedly look at information and not take that information as it is and not alter it just because he doesn't like a certain group of motherfuckers? So you can't have people, you can't have your goddamn kidnapper write your police report. You can't have the motherfucker who did the shit to you tell you what happened to you. Or tell anybody else for that matter what the fuck happened to you. Why aren't Native Americans writing history books about Native Americans? Why is it that it's always a motherfucker who is not even part of that group of people is telling the story about those groups of people? How the fuck can I tell you about Chinese people? All I can do is go over there and learn as much as I can from them. But you know who can tell you better? A fucking Chinese person. They'll tell you better. You know why? It's because they are from that land. They are from that culture. But then, if I go there and then I don't like Chinese on top of that, what type of story would I be giving you? How legit, how unbiased is that? How factual is that fucking history book that I give you about Chinese people if I don't even like them? That's the shit that motherfuckers need to think about. You can't read books about you written by somebody who doesn't give a fuck about you and doesn't like you. Who thinks they came before you when they know they didn't. We can't look at a goddamn scientist who says the Olmecs in South America and the ancient Egyptians never made any goddamn contact with each other, yet all their shit is similar. They got goddamn pyramids. They mummified their fucking dead. They put gold funeral masks on their pharaohs. They got animal fucking all these similarities, but then just because of the fact of who's telling you the goddamn story is gonna change, man. It's gonna change. Why? It's because of the fact that these motherfuckers don't respect the fact that we came first. They don't like that. So then any information that they get, they gonna take it, filter it, do whatever the fuck they want, but then give you some bullshit. You know why I know that? Because look up Adam and Eve right now. Go look up Adam and Eve and click on goddamn images and tell me what you see. Tell me that shit is true. Tell me a whole bunch of goddamn white people made me and a bunch of people look like me. How the fuck does that work? That don't work. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Science proves it don't work like that. Black people can have dark-skinned babies, light-skinned babies, even a fucking albino baby. Can white people have a dark-skinned baby, a light-skinned baby? No. So how the fuck can you tell me Adam and Eve was goddamn white when you got a shitload more Africans and dark people than anything else on Earth right now? Anything else on Earth, and it's been that way. And it's been that way. But somehow the first motherfuckers was white as shit. Get the fuck out of here. That's my point is, y'all really need to look at this shit, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. And then, like I said, it's getting to the point where present day, you got presidents who think that they have the right to tell Mexicans who have been here before them that they can't be here. That's why that type of ideology is dangerous. Because now you got these motherfuckers who stole some shit is trying to tell you what to do with the shit they stole. And it belongs to you. Can you imagine what a fucking, an old school Mexican motherfucker thinking right now? Like, yo, back in my day, like we was kicking it in Texas. Like we played in Texas. Like that was Mexico. Straight up. Like that shit was Mexico. So that's my thing. You can't come to some shit, kill everything, make a law, and then start and saying that's what it is. Like you see, we've been here, so we don't forget. That's my thing, is that we've been here, so we don't forget. And so, scientifically to break the shit down, because I'm not with just, the chatty patty. I'll give it to you raw, but then I'll throw you some statistics too. You feel me? So when I say the fact that the dark skin has been here, I feel that you are the last motherfucker to tell anybody what to do on some land that you ain't been on longer than any of us. You haven't. And so it says it right here. You know what I'm saying? There was the 84th annual meeting at the American Association of Physical Anthropologists, and they offered dramatic evidence of recent evolution in Europe and shows that most modern Europeans don't look much like those of 8,000 years ago. You want me to read that again? Work presented at the 84th annual meeting of the American Association of Physical Anthropologists offers dramatic evidence of recent evolution in Europe and shows that most modern Europeans do not look like those of 8,000 years ago. So what does that say to you? What does that say to you? 8,000 years ago, 8,200 years ago, y'all motherfuckers did not exist. 8,500 years ago, y'all motherfuckers did not exist. 9,000 years ago, y'all motherfuckers did not exist. So my point is that how does somebody who was only 8,000 approximately years old trying to tell somebody who is goddamn damn near million, I'm not even damn near, millions years old, what to do on some shit they've been here longer than them? We'll just cut it to goddamn, let's just say 500,000. Let's just say 500,000. Okay, we'll say that because we know that they found that city in South Africa that's a 250,000-year-old city based on carbon dating. They found that one lady who's 1,000,000 years old in Ethiopia. They named her, I think they named her Lucy. 1,000,000 years old skeleton, 1,000,000-year-old skeleton found in Ethiopia 60 years ago. Look the shit up. Look the shit up. 1,000,000-year-old fucking skeleton, Lucy, found, and I'm gonna show you the article. And that shit was found in Ethiopia. So tell me, how the fuck is somebody 8,000-year-old gonna talk to people who have been in some shit goddamn 200,000 years ago, 250,000 years ago? And then now you come along knocking everything off the wall. Now you want to tell me what to do? That's the shit I don't understand. But see, that's the thing. That's the mentality of a young boy. You see what I'm saying? That's how your kid act. He wild. He running around. He want to kill everything. He want to fuck everything. Because you young. But not only you young, we're not the same either. That's another difference too. Is that what came out of Africa and whatever happened in Europe in regards to the white skin being originated 8,000 years ago, that ain't the same shit. Those are separate genomes. Those are separate genetics all the way around. All the way around. And I'm going to show you that too. So the reason why we don't think like that, the reason why we don't run around colonizing everything and just knocking shit over and taking it is because we're not the same. We've been here because we know that doesn't get you nowhere. We've been here. That don't get you nowhere. But people who are only 8,000 years old, they don't know any better because they ain't been around long enough to understand the fact that violence, pillaging, colonizing, raping the land, the people, will not get you nowhere. They don't understand that because they're not that old. They're young. They're babies. They're little kids running around, knocking shit over. But the world is their fucking playground. So that's why you see what you see. That's why you see people who steal someone's land and then tell you what to do on that land. And then they think logically that that's okay. Just because it's been some time. That's why. It's because they are not sophisticated fucking human beings. They're not. And then they're also mixed with other shit. I'll tell you exactly what I know. But they're definitely not 100% human beings. The only thing that is 100% human being is what came out of the place they call fucking Africa. That's the only thing that is 100%. 100%. No Neanderthal, no goddamn Reese's gene, none of that shit. 100% human being. No goddamn Neanderthal, no none of that. None of that. None of that. That's why we got this type of hair. That's why we don't have straight hair. We don't have straight ass goddamn hair. If we do have straight hair, it's because we got some of it got mixed in with some kind of Neanderthal or some shit. Because we don't have straight hair. We got curly shit. We got coarse shit. We got coarse. This is friction. This grabs friction. This is coil. A coarse. You know what I'm saying? Coils up. We ain't got that just straight dead shit. We don't got that. We don't have that. No sir. No sir. No sir. That's not in my genes. That shit is not my genes. Nor is colonizing and pillaging everything you goddamn see. That's why we don't move like that. And then that's why people go, well, then why did why'd y'all let Europeans do that, or why? It's because that's what I'm saying. It's like y'all need to understand the same way the goddamn Native Americans let the Pilgrims come through. It's the same way motherfuckers let the Dutch, the British, and all the French, every other motherfucker come through Africa too. It's because at first, not even at first, in our cultures, you don't treat a motherfucker like a savage. You welcome them. I don't know you. All right, well, come on in. We'll feed you. We'll show you around. You know what I'm saying? That's how you treat a motherfucker. That's how we do things. But see, if you do that with somebody who's slick as shit, what they'll do is they'll come in smiling in your face, but the whole time they got an agenda. So that's what happened. There was an agenda that was implemented because motherfuckers took advantage of laws of nature, which some of them will leave you open for people to take advantage of. For an example, if somebody tells you something and goes, man, not even tell you something, you pull up at the gas station and you see somebody walking with a gas can, right? And they look puzzled. You look at them and go, what's wrong? Man, are you okay? You don't have to even say anything. You can walk right past them, but you can tell they're puzzled. They fuck around and come up to you and say, look, I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm trying to get home. I don't have any gas. I lost my card, or I just got mugged, whatever the fuck. That person could be lying to you. That motherfucker could be lying to you and just hustling you. But what do most of us do? We pull out our money. We'll give them $5, give them a couple dollars. We'll even pay for the gas real quick to make sure the motherfuckers ain't hustling you. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they'll still give money to a bum. You know why we do shit like that? Not because you have to. That's just because that's something that is in people instinctively. So my point is that is the same things that people who come and take over your shit take advantage of when they take your shit. It's either that or they just come in kicking your door down. It's one or the other. You can do both. But a feat of taking over 500 goddamn tribes of people, because there was at least 500 tribes of Native Americans back in them days, probably even more. So to take over that many people, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, killing and pillaging is definitely one of the options. But the quickest option is you fake befriend the motherfuckers. That's the quickest way, is that you act like you cool with them. Acting like you cool with somebody will get you a lot farther if you just come in swinging axes and shooting, and you come in cool, finessing them. Next thing they know, they're all surrounded. So my thing is that I can't let somebody who is known for doing this shit trying to tell me how the world works and how we need to be doing things. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and let some, like, I just saw, and then I saw this, another reason why I'm doing this video, I saw this goddamn article. They were showing us their depiction of Queen Nefertiti. Nefertiti. They were trying to show us what they think about what she looked like. And I saw the shit was like some white, fair-skinned lady. How the fuck is that lady so fair-skinned, man? It better been within 8,000 goddamn years ago. It better been within 8,000 years ago. Nefertiti was popping like that. Because more than likely, I'd like to assume she is older than 8,000 years. And we ain't had no fair skin like that over there. I mean, we had some, but, I mean, the sun, motherfucker. The sun. The sun gonna get your ass dark. Look at me. Look, my shit could have been that damn light. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all motherfuckers would have thought I was a goddamn Arabian if I was on that wall. Look, my skin is not even as black as my hair. Like, my skin is, look how light that shit is. And I'm full blood. And I'm light as fuck. I'm light as hell. So, for people to assume that black people come in just some black ass color, so when you see things on the walls of Egypt, then that must not have been us. When you do see black ass people on the walls, and you see light skinned people like me, look at this shit. Look at this shit, light as fuck. I'm light as fuck, and I'm full blood. So what you telling me? What you telling me? How's somebody 8,000 years old gonna tell me what the fuck was popping before they was born? How do you tell me that? How do you tell me what was popping before you was fucking born. None of y'all were born. How you gonna tell me? We telling y'all. And so I'm gonna do just that. Let me get to it. All right, I'm gonna get back to this article. So the origins of Europeans have come into sharp focus in the past year as researchers have sequenced the genomes of ancient populations, rather than only a few individuals. By comparing key parts of the DNA across the genomes of 83 ancient individuals, the archaeological sites throughout Europe, the international team of researchers reported earlier this year that Europeans today are a mix of a blending of at least 3 ancient populations of hunter-gatherers and farmers who moved into Europe in separate migrations over the past 8,000 years. Do you understand that? You see, this is what helped them get to narrow the shit down, is because the genomes that they've been stacking up throughout the years, they've been obviously doing comparative analysis. But my point is that these hunter-gatherer tribes are what constitute the 90-something% human being y'all have in you. You feel me? Now, I'm gonna explain why I'm saying what I'm saying, because this is the thing. See, this is what y'all need to understand about me. I am revealing, number one, shit that people don't know, which is usually called the goddamn truth. And then number two, I'm not saying this shit because I hate goddamn white people and all this shit. No. What I don't like is the fact that a lot of people don't know history. And so since they look at history like they are the goddamn, not only they are the facilitators of it, is when they get this a supremacy type goddamn mentality where we are today. So what's unfortunate is that a lot of just, you know what I'm saying, normal ass white people who mind their business and ain't trying to cause no problem are not only encouraged, but they keep alive white supremacy because of the ignorance of not knowing what the fuck is going on around them. And when I say that, I'm saying in even regards to history, you got to start. You can't start your history when you're born. You can't do that. And if you do that, understand that there is resentment for motherfuckers who have experienced the shit that y'all done put them throughout history. And so when you give your kids your future, they will have to deal with y'all's transgressions. And like I said, what's unfortunate is that y'all don't tell your kids your transgressions. So they run around here going, why y'all mad at us? We didn't do shit. Well, the sad thing is that y'all didn't, but you did. Because by y'all not knowing, y'all are still just as liable. Just because you don't know something don't mean that you are still not a goddamn fault. Just because you drive in a car and your homie say, hey, pull over right quick, I'll be right back. They go rob a bank and jump back in. And then the cops get behind you and you say, I didn't know. You still going to jail. So your ignorance cannot save you. That's why I'm putting this shit out here, because I'm saying, listen, every race of people, hear what I'm saying to you. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know, obviously my frustration is definitely focused on Europeans because they're the motherfuckers that have implemented all this bullshit. But we need to understand the fact that today, the only way that everything on this earth, I'm talking about the people, all races of people, the only way that we can all make it is if the young white kids understand what their parents did and resolve it. Don't act like it didn't happen. And don't be mad at me type shit. Because that's more of what we get. And I'm trying to tell y'all that ain't shit gonna get better until that's resolved. Because I hate when people try to say, don't worry, forget about your past, worry about your future. Motherfucker, your past is your future. Where you come from tells you where you fucking go. Whether you come from shit and you make it to success, then that's the why you made it to success, because you came from shit. Whether you came from shit and then stayed in shit, that's why you stayed in shit, is because you always been around shit. So my point is that where you come from, the goddamn breadcrumbs behind you that you've been following are just as important as the footsteps in front of you. So with that being said, when anybody of European descent watches this video, you don't watch it going, "Oh, he's just talking shit about my people." He's just no, motherfucker. I'm telling you shit that everybody's been burying, and now we are living, setting laws and shit based on lies, bro. Lies. You can't base immigration laws on land that was stolen. You can't do that. That don't make no goddamn sense. You know, because there will always be a problem. Because motherfuckers are going, you took my shit. And then what you saying? Oh, well, we made a new law. I don't give a fuck about what law you made. You took my shit. My kids will never forget that. Their kids will never forget that. And so on and so forth. But see, how do you talk to, like I said, how do you talk to people when anytime they have met any group of people, any foreign land, they have invaded? How? How do you communicate with people when all they do is invade shit? Australia, take that shit over. Africa, take that shit over. South America, take that shit over. Hell, I'm still trying to figure out why China was cool. I'm still trying to figure out why they didn't go to China, which in a sense they did, because them motherfuckers is white too, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see no black ass Chinese person. So, I mean, I don't know where else where they ain't touched and fucked up. I don't know another place. I don't know another piece of continent. Alaska? Oh, not Alaska. North Poles? Them motherfuckers is there too. They're in that motherfucker too. North Poles digging. And don't want to let nobody come in there. That's the shit I'm talking about, man. You can't run around claiming ownership of the world when you're the youngest fucking thing on the earth. You're the youngest humanoid on earth. And you run around trying to tell everybody what to do. But how you doing it is enforcing it by pure barbaricness. Just barbaric. There is nothing that the Europeans have enforced out of straight like democracy and shit. It's all been barbaric. All of it. Australia, barbaric. South America, barbaric. Africa, barbaric. North America, barbaric. All the shit, savage. Come in swinging something, taking heads off. That's it. That's it. Tell me what African civilization you know of has colonized any continent. Tell me what African civilization you know has killed a whole tribes of a whole race of people that are dead and extinct right now. I'm trying to tell y'all. I bet you money there. I bet you there ain't even a goddamn 10,000 full-blood Indians. I mean, I'm probably exaggerating, but I'm just saying. Them motherfuckers is damn near gone. 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 You don't see full-blood Indians. If you do, boy, you better grab her. You better grab her quick. Oh, you better grab her quick. I'll just fucking with y'all. Nah, real shit though, man. You know, so let me just get to the articles. Let me get to the articles, man. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like y'all gonna really understand what I'm saying when I get to the articles. Because I feel like a lot of times when I speak, you know, people want to just assume I'm just pulling the shit out of my ass. No, motherfucker, I'm reading. And if you don't believe me, look, you need to go check. You need to go read the shit up. Like, I challenge you, go look the shit up. All right, so we were at so today the mix of the blending of at least three ancient populations of hunter-gatherers, farmers who have moved into Europe in separate migrations over the past 8,000 years. Now, the study revealed that a massive migration of Yamana herders from the steppes from the steppes north of the Black Sea may have brought Indo-European languages to Europe 4,500 years ago. Do you understand that? So that's saying that within those 8,000 years of y'all originating, half of it, you know, a little over half, language was introduced. Do you understand that? That means that a massive migration of Yamana herders from the steppes north of the Black Sea may have brought Indo-European languages to Europe about 4,500 years ago. You see, that's why for me, you know, it's like I got a homie, I got a really cool partner of mine. Shout out to Ashar Ben Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an Israelite. Like, and to be honest with you, I wasn't rocking with him. I thought that shit was whack as fuck. Like, I'm not even gonna play with you. I thought the shit was whack as fuck. But because he used to tell me about the Bible, going, we wrote the Bible, the languages, you know, and I say to him, English, that's their shit. English is not ours. And he would say, nah, bro, nah, English, you know, the Moors came up with English and Latin and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? So I started looking this shit up. Not only was he right in regards to language, but like I said, articles like this is what proves to me that language, that's what I'm saying, like, you cannot just be born and then just start talking, man. Does your baby, when your baby's born, does the little cute little thing run around and out of nowhere just start yapping and just start talking, just start yapping all by himself? No, somebody has to teach the fucking kid. Not only does somebody have to teach the kid has to hear other people talking. They gotta hear the shit. They gotta hear the shit, learn the shit, and then they do it. You don't just start talking. You don't just start talking. That's why when you look at a lot of times what they teach in schools is the evolution chart. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. You know, for the cave people, that's what I'm saying. Africans, we're in cave. Those are Neanderthals. So Neanderthals, that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't talk, right? So they was chipping, grunting and shit, right? So my point is that if somebody's sitting there grunting and talking like right now, a goddamn gorilla. That's like a gorilla. I don't know. It just learned how to talk, doing what I'm doing. Just I don't know. Like, hey, what's happening? Just start yapping. That doesn't happen. The same way even a real human being, baby, doesn't just start fucking talking. It has to hear conversation. It has to hear speech. And then you direct speech towards the kid, and then the kid starts soaking, and then there it goes. So that just is alluding more to the fact that, so within your and I'm talking modern Europeans, within your 8,000 year, you know what I'm saying, gap of existing, within 4,500 years of it, speech became possible. But the only way it became possible, just like a baby, it was introduced. It was spoken around you. That's the only way it became possible. So then the language concept is then it's stuck. So my point is that even the language concept to a Neanderthal was non-existent. That shit don't, a goddamn ape don't talk. You understand what I'm saying? So when you go back to the article, that's what it's explaining, is that in this migration, within 4,500 years of the 8,000 year lifespan of the modern European, the white gene specifically, the pale skin, is within 4,500 years of it, is when speech was introduced. Now, a new study from the same team drills down further into the remarkable data to search for genes that were under strong natural selection, including traits so favorable that they spread rapidly throughout Europe in the past 8,000 years. Now, by comparing these ancient European genomes with those of recent ones from the 1,000 Genome Project's Population Genetics, Ian Mathieson, a postdoc in the Harvard University Lab of Population Genetics, Dave Reich, found 5 genes associated with changes in diet and skin pigmentation that underwent strong natural selection. Now, that's where it gets kind of crazy, folks. Peep game. First, the scientists confirmed an earlier report that the hunter-gatherers in Europe could not digest sugars in milk 8,000 years ago, according to a poster. They also noted an interesting twist. Now, check this out. The first farmers also couldn't digest milk. Y'all hear me? Okay, so I'm gonna run it back. I need y'all to stick with me. The scientists confirmed an earlier report that the hunter-gatherers in Europe could not digest sugars in milk. So the ones that were saying, the ones that are here that were saying that introduced Indo-European languages 4,500 years within the 8,000 year lifespan of modern Europeans, is that they're saying that these people were lactose intolerant, right? They also noted that the first farmers also were lactose intolerant. The farmers who came from the Near East about 7,800 years ago, and the Yamano pastoralists who came from the steppes 4,800 years ago, lacked the version of LCT gene that allows adults to digest sugars in milk. It wasn't only until about 4,300 years ago that lactose tolerance swept through Europe. So boom, right there. See, because this is what it's saying to me. This is what this is saying to me. If y'all don't understand, this is what this is saying to me. That the people that started coming into Europe and started influencing the quote unquote, Neanderthalic kind of white people, they weren't lactose, they were lactose intolerant, so they couldn't drink milk. But see, the thing is that most modern Europeans are lactose tolerant. So how the fuck does something that is not lactose tolerant create something that's lactose tolerant, right? How the fuck does that work? That's why, like I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that we're not the same. Something else is in the mix. Something else is in y'all's mix. Is because if they just said there was three different hunter gatherer tribes, right? And then also including the Yamana, right? It was the Yamana. Uh, where is it at? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, there was at least three ancient populations of hunter gatherers, and then there was also a massive migration of the Yamana herders. So my point is that the hunter gatherers, nor and even the Yamana herders were lactose intolerant. So then, like I said, how is something created that is lactose tolerant that comes from lactose intolerance? So that's what I'm saying, that there is, obviously people just say, a lot of scientists, they just want to assume just a mutation. But like I mean, you can't, that's like saying that, that we can drink, a certain type of, like, I don't know. I just think that I can't find a legit, kind of like example, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how something that's lactose intolerant can create something that's lactose tolerant. Just because I feel like if we had that gene in us, then we would be lactose goddamn tolerant too. You see what I'm saying? But I'll look into more. I'll look into that more. But for me, like I said, to me that sticks out like a sore thumb, because I'm going, well, so then what created the modern European then? You know what I'm saying? Like, so then I started looking, but I'll definitely show you what I found. So when it comes to skin color, the team found out a patchwork of evolution in the different places and three separate genes that produce light skin, telling a complex story of how European skin evolved to be much lighter during the past 8,000 years. Now, the modern humans came out of Africa to originally settle Europe about 40,000 years ago. I'm gonna say that again. The modern humans came out of Africa. The modern humans came out of Africa originally to settle Europe about 40,000. The modern humans came out of Africa originally to settle Europe about 40,000 years ago. Do I need to say it again? Do we need to show these motherfuckers who wrote this article? Because it is your folks. National Geographic's? Y'all motherfuckers wrote this shit. Oh no, this is just the science. This is science. Okay, where's the there's the National Geographic. So I'm gonna get back to you. 40,000 years ago, the modern humans came out of Africa, originally settling Europe 40,000 years ago, are presumed to have had dark skin. So the people that came out of Africa and settled into Europe 40,000 years ago. Now remember, we've just been talking about the fact that the modern European, which is the lighter, not even the lighter, the white skin, right, is 8,000 years old. Okay, so the modern human that came out of Africa settled Europe 40,000 years prior, 40,000 goddamn years prior. You understand? This is so I'm saying, this is the type of shit I just that shit really burns me, man. It really burns me. It really burns me. I don't understand. I just don't understand. So the modern humans who came out of Africa, originally settling Europe about 40,000 years ago, are presumed to have dark skin, which is advantaged in sunny latitudes. And the new data confirmed that about 8,500 years ago, early hunter-gatherers in Spain, Luxembourg, and Hungary had also darker skin. I'm going to say it again. And data confirmed that 8,500 years ago, early hunter-gatherers in Spain, Luxembourg, Hungary, them is your names, right? Them motherfuckers had dark ass skin, man. You understand me? They lack the version of two genes, the SLC24A5 and the SLC45A2, that led to depigmentation, and therefore pale skin is what is today. So, I think right here, this is where I feel that they lost me. This is where they lost me. When they try to tell me that these folks who have been living in, the hunter-gatherers who were living in Spain, Luxembourg, and Hungary, the dark skin, out of nowhere just mutated, and then led to a depigmentation. So yes, because of lack of sun, there'll definitely be a depletion, right, of all of the kind of like primary melanitic cells that construct the skin to stay as dark as it is. Because what we do understand about melanin is it's an absorption of power, right? It's a process that is an absorption of power. So with that being said, my point is that I just don't feel that your skin goes goddamn backwards and mutates on you. I feel if anything, you just get lighter, but I don't think it goes backwards to the point like what they talking about. I don't see that. I don't see that. But like I said, the person who's writing this article is only 8,000 years old. He only 8,000 years. Anything else past 8,000 years, motherfuckers guessing. He guessing. He guessing. He guessing. Anything, if your son is 12 years old and he's trying to tell your grandfather's story, he can only tell you 12 years of some shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He can only tell you 12 years of some real shit because the only thing that he can touch on is 12 years of what he's seen, what he's done, what he's, But anything past that, you're going to have to go ask that old man because the old man was actually there. Anything else is a goddamn guess. Like this shit right here, that's a guess to me. I feel like that. I don't agree with that shit. I don't agree with it. But in the far north, where the low lights, where low light levels would favor pale skin, the team found a different picture in hunter-gatherers. 7 people from the 7,700-year-old Motala archaeological site in southern Sweden had both light-skinned gene variants. Of course, man. Of course we got light skin. You see, this is the thing, man. This is the thing. I don't understand how they can say that is when, like I said, is when we can produce every goddamn shade. I don't understand that. And then when I say every shade, we don't even make like our albinos, you know what I'm saying? They're albinos, they're not like white people. So we can't make white people. That's one thing. We can't make white people. We can make somebody that's real fair though. That's real fair. Damn near close, but they're still gonna have some kind of melanin in them, Hell, I've seen some that are damn near white looking, but like I said, it's like if anything, you're gonna have some freckles or something, or you a straight albino. But I've never seen a black person who looks literally like a white person, like straight all the way up, and they got no white people in them. That shit ain't possible. It ain't fucking possible. I ain't never seen it. No, I never seen it. I never seen an article. Somebody sent me an article. Show me a picture of somebody and they're full goddamn black and they got a white baby. Literally like a Caucasian baby with straight hair and everything. Got pink skin, all of that. That shit, it just, like I said, we don't have the same genetic makeup. We don't have the same genetic code. It's just that simple. I'll show you too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, where am I here? Then the first farmers from the Near East arrived in Europe. They carried both genes of light skin. As they interbred with the indigenous hunter-gatherers, one of their light-skinned genes swept through Europe, so that Central and Southern Europeans also began to have lighter skin. The other gene variant, SLC45A2, was at low levels until 5,800 years ago when it swept up to a high frequency. You see, that's what I'm saying. When they say shit like that, what do you mean it just swept up? What, just the wind started kicking, the motherfuckers started turning? That's the shit I don't understand. That's when they say shit like that. That's what I'm saying. They lost me here when they started going. They lacked the SLC, so that just led to depigmentation. No, that's just what you assume it led to. You're just assuming that's what it might lead to. But just because a black person is not getting sun, they don't turn into a Caucasian. That's my point. We don't turn into Caucasians. I mean, it's just as simple as that. Cause we're the same motherfuckers. We're not the same. All right, I'm gonna show y'all why. Okay, so when ancestors first migrated out of Africa around 70,000 years ago, they were not alone. Now, right there, that is an assumption based on 8,000 being the youngest humanoid on Earth. Is because for them to assume that Neanderthals, for some reason, just decided to walk next to the Africans on their way out, when some of the Africans are like, hey, let's go to Europe. So then what? Some Neanderthals are like, oh, we want to go too? No. The motherfucking Neanderthals are all over the world. There was over 150 different types of hominids that existed. Hominids are not full human beings. These motherfuckers are Neanderthal is just is a type of hominid. So my point is, Neanderthals, well, they've been there in the Caucasus Mountains and shit. That's what a caveman is. They've been there. The motherfuckers been in the cave. They've been all around the earth. There's different, like I said, like there's short hominids in South America. There's Bigfoots in North America. You know what I'm saying? There's all different shapes and sizes of hominids that lived all over the world. So my point is that Neanderthals didn't just kick it with goddamn people in Africa. The motherfuckers were all over the world. So wherever, you know, so when they're saying in this article that the ancestors migrated out of Africa around 70,000 years ago, they were not alone. That's just alluding to the fact that when they got there, Neanderthals had been chilling, right? But see, my thing is this. I take that back. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Yeah. I think Neanderthals are about 70,000. I'll look that up, but I think they might be older than that. I think Neanderthals actually might be a lot older than that. I don't know. Okay, so at the time, at least two other species of hominid cousins walked the Eurasian landmass, Neanderthals and the Denisovans, right? As our modern human ancestors migrated through Eurasia, they encountered the Neanderthals and interbred. Now, that's what I don't fucking agree with right there. I don't agree with that one. I don't think that's why. I don't think it was an interbred. I don't think we was fucking monkeys. I don't think that's what was happening. I don't think we decided to fuck on some monkeys. I don't know. Look, I don't know exactly. I wasn't there. I don't know. So, but we weren't fucking monkeys. I don't think we were fucking monkeys though. I feel like that is the last thing we was doing was banging on a monkey. If maybe there was some kind of genetic manipulation, you know what I'm saying, some splicing here and there, I could see something like that happening, but I don't think we were sliding in some monkeys. I don't think so. But hey, you know, you're entitled to opinion. So as our modern human ancestors migrated through Eurasia, they encountered the Neanderthals and interbred. Bullshit. Because of this, a small amount of Neanderthal DNA was introduced into the modern human gene pool. Now, let me show y'all this. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, that we wasn't fucking on no monkeys. This is, okay, first of all, before I keep going, this article came out in National Geographic's, what year was it? I guess. It's not saying the year it came out, but it's been out for like a year or two. This is a National Geographic article, right? So this is, I'm not just pulling this shit from some weird website. You know what I'm saying? You can go look this shit up. So the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, the reason why I'm saying that we weren't fucking on no monkeys is because everyone living outside of Africa today, I'm gonna say it again, everyone living outside of Africa today has a small amount of Neanderthal in them. I'm gonna say it again. Everyone living outside of Africa today has a small amount of Neanderthal in them, carried as a living relic of these ancient encounters. A team of scientists comparing the full genomes of the two species concluded that most Europeans and Asians have approximately 2% Neanderthal DNA. Indigenous sub-Saharan Africans have none. You see that? Indigenous. I hate that sub-Saharan shit, but indigenous Africans have none or very little Neanderthal DNA because their ancestors did not migrate through Eurasia. No, that's bullshit. Just because we don't have no Neanderthal in us does not mean we didn't migrate through Asia. That just means we wasn't fucking on no goddamn monkeys. That's all that meant. That's all that meant. But that's what I'm saying. To a young 8,000-year-old boy, all they can say is, "Oh well, if you weren't fucking on a monkey, you didn't go that way." Because anybody that goes that way is gonna fuck on the monkey. you see what I'm saying? That's exactly what the fuck he's saying here. So, indigenous sub-Saharan Africans have none or very little Neanderthal DNA because their ancestors did not migrate through Eurasia. But see, we were just talking about 70,000 years ago, we came into Europe. So you trying to tell me 70,000 years ago we came into Europe, and within all that time too, none of us went to Eurasia? That don't make no sense. That doesn't make no sense. It's just the point is that so the only logical conclusion for them, these scientists who wrote the or no these scientists who put this shit together, the only logical conclusion is, well, if you didn't fuck on a monkey on this monkey and you must just not have came this way. You must just not have walked this way. No, motherfucker, we walked there and we walked right past the monkey because we wasn't in the fucking no monkeys. So just because we weren't fucking on monkeys does not mean we were not traveling all through Eurasia. We were not traveling through the Eurasian landmass specifically. That don't mean that. On one level, it's not surprising that modern humans were able to interbreed with their close cousins. According to one theory, Neanderthals, Denisovans, and all modern humans are all descended from the ancient human Homo heidelbergensis. Between 500,000 to 600,000 years ago, an ancestral group of H. heidelbergensis left Africa, then split shortly after. One branch ventured northwestward into West Asia and Europe and became the Neanderthals. The other branch moved east, became the Denisovans. By 250,000 years ago, the H. heidelbergensis in Africa had become the Homo sapien. Our modern human ancestors did not begin their own exodus from Africa until 70,000 years ago when they expanded into Eurasia and encountered their ancient cousin. So like I said, man, ain't no 8,000-year-old somebody gonna tell me any of that. Any of that. All they can tell me is how old they are, which is what they've given me. You heard? That's all you can tell me. All you can tell me is some shit that you've been around to see. Or you can, because that's the only way y'all can figure that out is because y'all been around, right? But past 8,000 is carbon dating and guessing. That's all it is. Past 8,000 is carbon dating, genome testing, and guessing. A bunch of rolling the dice. Well, I mean, shit, they wasn't fucking on these monkeys, so they must not have came this way. I guess, right? The revelation that our ancient ancestors made it with another could help explain one of the great mysteries in anthropology. Why did the Neanderthals disappear after first venturing out of Africa? See, that's what I'm saying. It's the same way. Okay, I'll just finish this paragraph. Neanderthals thrived in Europe for several 100,000 years, but they mysteriously died out about 30,000 years ago, roughly around the same time that modern humans arrived. Roughly around the same time that modern humans arrived in Europe. You see what I'm saying? That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking. That's that guessing. That's that rolling the dice, just hoping you hit a snake eyes type shit right there. What the fuck you mean, bro? What do you mean? I don't know. They just disappeared. How the fuck you gonna say something created like, oh, so they were fucking and then they just disappeared? They mysteriously died out? So it's the same with the dinosaurs too, right? All of them just mysteriously died out. The same thing with the Mayans. All of them just You see, when motherfuckers can't figure shit out, they just say they just died out. Why? We don't know. It's a mystery. But when that happened, this happened. Get the fuck out. You don't even know what happened. You don't even know what the fuck happened. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me Neanderthals were living several 100,000 years, but then you can't tell me what all happened to them? How can we scientifically test something for us? Which, like I said, like I feel like the only way. I don't even know what test they would have run on the Neanderthal, you know what I'm saying, like bone or something, for them to assume, number one, okay, I could see not even thriving. See the thriving part, yeah. How do you factually say, scientifically, that a group of Neanderthals, they weren't surviving? Them motherfuckers was balling out of control, right? Because you saw a fat one with chains on and you saw a skinny one, right? I don't know. But they are convinced that these motherfuckers was balling out of control. And then out of nowhere, they should just stop. Out of nowhere. How the fuck can you tell me that they've been specifically balling for several 100,000 years, but then you can't tell me what happened to them? You can't even tell me where all the bodies are or where all the bones are. If they were, okay, let's put it like this. fucking like monkeys, several 100,000 years, there would be millions of these fucking things all over the place. Because they fucking all over the place. And then out of nowhere, all their bones are gone. And they all disappear. It's a guess. That they guessing. They just throwing darts in a dart. They're just throwing darts in the dark. The same way they just assumed all the goddamn dinosaurs just died. They all just died at the same goddamn time. So when the dinosaurs died, was it the same time as these Neanderthals and the Mayans? They all just fell off, just fell to the ground and disappeared, right? Shit, it don't make no goddamn sense. All right, so now the reason why I say what I'm saying is because not only have I showed y'all right there in regards to numerous articles saying that Africans, number one, anything that's out of Africa is full-blood human being. And then number two, we've been migrating from 200 to, from 70 to 200,000 years in and out of goddamn Europe and Asia. We've been going back and forth. When you look at North Africa, you can walk into Israel. Boom, you're right there. You in what they call the Middle East, which Middle East is really, what type of direction is that? Is there a middle north? Is there a middle south? But at the end of the day, for people to not assume that we were walking through these places before even those times that they are giving us, the 200,000 years or 70,000 years, like I said, that's like somebody's son trying to tell me what their grandfather was doing in 1922. That shit will never be as accurate as that old man who was in 1922 telling you. And obviously, if he's dead, then you can never get it all. But one thing's for sure is, a lot of our knowledge, a lot of our history, it's out there. It's just that it's in the wrong hands. And it's in the hands of the youngest motherfuckers. Why? Because they came through and did the typical, stereotypical, barbaric shit that these motherfucking cave people do, and they done took it off. They done took it by force. And then created a level of perception that, number one, they were first. Why? Is because nobody has any information about otherwise. So if I come to you and say, yeah, I built this first, how are you going to know any different when I have all the information of who actually built it? How the fuck you going to know? You can barely even speak English. You can barely even speak English. Or whatever language the fuck they were talking back then. And then if we did speak the same, then I could definitely see the diversion of language. Right? The diversion, the same way you see diversion of religion. I don't like how you pray, so I'm going to start my own religion. Well, I don't like how you say something, so I'm going to start my own language. These things were all given to the early European. Language, culture, cleanliness, art, music, spices, fashion. All this shit was given. They didn't think of nothing. They were goddamn cave people. How does a caveman out of nowhere start going, man, I need to start getting fly? How? How the fuck does that happen? You got to show them fly. A baby just start talking. You got to show them how to speak. So then I give you these dates. I show you that the modern European, scientifically, based on genome tested, is only 8,000 years old. How the fuck you gonna tell me what happened anything past 8,000 years ago? Because you weren't there. You weren't there. So anything else is mysterious. Mysteriously. Oh, I don't know. These motherfuckers the Mayans just picked up and left. The motherfucking, what else? Who other people just did? What other people? Dinosaurs just picked up and left. You know why? It's because y'all motherfuckers weren't there. So you don't know. But see, you can't converse with the people who know. Why? Is because you got y'all's foot on their neck. So you can control the world's resources, the world's spirituality, and most importantly, the people. Because the people are being used just as easy, just as much as the gold and the oil and all the shit being pulled out of the earth. It's the same way. The same way. Motherfuckers is cashing in on what's naturally out here. People and minerals. Cashing in. And only one race of people are bearing the fruits of all of that. Because if we look at it right now, majority of billionaires in the world, one color. Only 10 look like me. And there were 12 2 years ago. But now only 10 billionaires look like me. Over 1,800 are white. Where is the money going? To them. Religions. Who controls religions? They do. No dark-skinned man controls any religion. Muhammad ain't dark-skinned. He doesn't claim being black. Motherfucker ain't black. He ain't dark-skinned. And we know, I just explained to y'all that Eurasians, they got Neanderthal in them too. So they're actually more related. Muhammad is more related to the European than to me. You see? So how are the youngest humanoids who barbarically gained control have any type of moral foundation they can base this shit that they doing on? Or even, or even natural, based on a nature's perspective. How do you base these types of laws and ideologies? What type of moral compass do you base it on? Knowing that this shit is causing earthquakes. How do we say it's all good? Let's just keep going. How do we do that? How is that okay? And then also benefiting our future, right? Ensuring our future. How do we? That's what I'm saying. So the same exploiting concept has been used over and over and over by these people ever since they have learned how to speak. It's shit is disgusting. You feel me? So when I say what I'm saying, I'm gonna give you some more evidence in regards to how we, as dark skinned, how we got to the Americas. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. Because remember, I just showed y'all 8,000 years ago, y'all was just being born. So anything past 8,000 years was dark skin. Understand that. Anything past 8,000 years was dark skin. So any skeleton, any person, anything you see, anything, because we know based on genome testing on the National Geographic's article, it said that the lactose intolerant gene was only around 8,000 years ago because of the Yamana and the other hunter-gatherer tribes and herders, because they've been going in and out of there for the past 40,000 years, and none of them are lactose tolerant. None of them. Okay? So we know that anything past 8,000, y'all motherfuckers wasn't around. Okay? So family, check this out. This is what y'all need to see. This is what y'all need to see. See, family, this is what I really wanted to bring y'all. Because this is what I need y'all to understand, that y'all been here. I need y'all to understand that y'all have been in the Americas. We've been in the Europes, the Eurasians, the Norse, the goddamn Australias, the North Poles. We like, how you gonna tell me a million year old skeleton in Ethiopia ain't been walking around the earth, man? Are you really trying? And especially, and we know that the earth land masses were a lot closer together back in them days. We know that, right? We know that because of tectonic plates, ocean currents, um, what do you call it? Tide, all of that, orbit and tide, um, tide cycles. We know all this stuff is what creates land masses to move and separate from each other, right? So, like I said, so for us to assume that people who are a million years old, and we can tell by, like I said, with Lucy's skeleton that was found in Ethiopia 60 years ago, for us to assume that people is a million years old weren't walking around for 20,000 of them years, just peeping shit out, moving. Like I said, you ignorant as fuck. You see, because the concept of boundaries is a European concept. That's not even an ancient concept. It's not an African concept. It's not an indigenous concept. You know what I'm saying? The Native Americans didn't have no goddamn boundaries. They didn't have no border lines. They didn't have county lines. They didn't have that shit. In Africa, we didn't have that shit either. We moved with our animals. We moved with the seasons. So if our animals was moving to the east, guess where the fuck we're going? If our water is in the west, guess where the fuck we're going? And whatever's there, we gonna be living together. And if motherfuckers got a problem, we're gonna bang it out. But one thing's for sure is the kids, the mothers, the village, people are still gonna feed and eat because that's what you do in nature. You go to any watering hole, the fucking Amazon, the Serengeti, you gonna see 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of animals drinking in the same watering hole. The only time anything wants to kill anything is just because when it's time to feed. That's it. When it's time to feed, not just to kill. Not because it's mine. This is my land. This is my water. This is my, because it's all our shit. We all gotta survive. So my point is the same way in nature, where you see a goddamn lion, a goddamn hippo, and an elephant all drinking water together, is the same way that ancient civilizations got along, coexisted, because we understood the fact that there had to be a balance in nature. The only time we kill is to defend or feed. That's it. That's it. Out of malice, I'm sure that happened. But I am confident to say that it was rare because we know, look, the reason I'm saying that's because you can't be around a million years if you run around clubbing and butchering anybody that you don't like. You cannot be around that long. That's why my point is that the 8,000 years that the modern European has been around, look how much fucking chaos they done caused. It's because they don't understand the fact that how you survive shit, how you make it is coexistence. They don't understand that fact. That's why you don't see any ancient civilizations who came and took over Britain. You don't see any ancient civilizations who came and when motherfuckers was giving y'all language, made y'all slaves and kept y'all slaves. Nah, motherfucker, people were given language. People were given culture. Motherfuckers was taken out the cave. So anything past 8,000 years, we know had dark ass skin. And so when people start talking about Mexico, acting like black people weren't in Mexico, when people try to act like black people weren't in goddamn North America before the so-called Native Americans, who aren't dark skinned, motherfuckers is light skinned, but it's a different type of light. And look at their hair. You know what I'm saying? All that shit would tell you how old you are. Your hair, the hair tells you everything. Straight hair, 8,000 years old. That's it. Straight hair, 8,000 years old. Curly, coarse, goddamn African hair, goddamn million years old. Look up Lucy. Look up Lucy. Million years old. Look shit up. Now, let's look at Naya. Let's look at Naya. Because y'all, I was talking to a Mexican partner of mine. He's half Mexican and he's half Native American. And I told him, I said, look, I know y'all have been here, before the Europeans, but understand we came before y'all. He said, no, 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 it's bullshit. We've been here. We've been here. I told him, I said, listen, bro, listen. And that's the thing, too. It's like, that's why motherfuckers don't respect nothing, is because they feel that they were here before. And the reason why I'm saying this is imperative, because that's when I feel people's perceptions will be back in place and understanding who they are, and what place they fit in society and in the world and in history, all of that, right? And evolution. If you don't know what place you sit in evolution, you will always have a different concept of an altered concept of your reality. You understand? If you don't realize that you're not the youngest, you're actually the oldest, you will always act like a goddamn kid, or you'll always be, you'll carry the characteristics of the youngest. So my point is that you can't, the youngest motherfucker cannot act like the oldest, because they aren't. They aren't. So you can't act like the oldest. And then the way you respect your older brother or your older sister is different the way you respect your younger brother and younger sister. So that's why these things have to be put in place. They have to be put back in place. I'm tired of the 8,000-year-old telling the million-year-old what's going on and what's popping and what to do, when that motherfucker don't know what's going on and what's popping and what to do. That's the shit I'm talking about. The 8,000-year-old running around telling everybody else what happened before they were even born, when they don't fucking know. They don't know. And then they're not listening to the people who were back there, who were us. They don't listen. Not that they don't listen. They took the shit and modified it and switched it up. So I'm going to introduce y'all to Naya. So to all my Mexican partners, my Native Americans, I'm going to introduce y'all to Naya. Because like I said, Naya was in the Mexicos. You already see where this article's going. In the depth of an underwater cave in Mexico, the bones of an unlucky girl named Naya preserved clues to the origins of the first Americans for 12,000 dark years. Now her bones and those clues have finally come to light. The shape of Naya's skull and the DNA in her bones have led researchers to the conclusion that there was only one major migration to the Americas. The shape of Naya's skull and the DNA in her bones have led researchers to the conclusion that there was only one major migration to the Americas, over an ancient land bridge that spanned what is now the Bering Strait. University of New Mexico's geochemist Yamane Azmarum, who helped determine how long ago Naya lived, compared her story to that of Lucy, the 3.2, oh my God, the 3.2 million year old ancestor whose bones were found in Ethiopia 3.2 million year old human ancestor whose bones were found in Ethiopia 40 years ago. Like, god damn. 3.2 million. How the fuck is somebody 8,000 gonna tell me? You know what Ethiopia is, right? Y'all know where the fuck that's at, right? Right? God damn. Just like the story of Lucy, from where I originated myself, and our rovers right now on Mars, Naya's story touches, I believe, on our hunger for deep human connection in space and time, Azram told reporters during a teleconference. Now, Azram and more than a dozen other researchers tell Naya's story in this week's whatever. All right, come on, just come get with it, man. All right, so Naya's significance stems from the fact that the teenage girl's bones were so well preserved in the dark hole. And I'm excited, so I'm sorry. I need to calm down. I need to calm down. It's just, this shit is just hitting all the points, man. It's like, I love it when the truth just reveals itself. I love it, man. Okay. All right, let me get back to it. So, for decades, anthropologists have fleshed out the idea that modern day Native Americans are the descendants of ancient peoples who made their way from Siberia to the Americas over the Beringia, that now submerged land bridge. But scientists have also puzzled over curious skeletal remains that look as if they came from Africa or the South Pacific rather than Siberia or the Americas. Do I need to read that shit again? Yes, sir, you do. But scientists have also puzzled over curious skeletal remains that look as if they come from Africa or South Pacific rather than Siberia or the Americas. One of the best examples is Kennewick Man, a 9,300-year-old skeleton found in 1996 on the banks of Columbia River in Washington State. Such finds led scientists to wonder whether these different-looking immigrants, referred to as the Paleo-Americans, made their way to the Americas via different routes. Earlier this year, researchers traced the connections between Native Americans and ancient Beringians by analyzing the DNA from a set of 12,600-year-old human remains that was found in Montana known as the Enzic 1. But they could not make a solid connection between those populations and the Paleo-Americans. That's where Naya enters the story. Do you understand what's going on, folks? They couldn't find the match. You see, because the shit didn't look the same. You see, they kept saying to themselves, like, why the fuck, what's his name? Why do these immigrants, the scientists, they're wondering whether these different looking immigrants referred to as Paleo-Americans made their way to the Americas via different routes. And the scientists were puzzled over the curious skeletal remains. They didn't look like the modern day Native American. Not the same shit. You see what I'm telling you when it comes to genes? You see what I'm saying? Genetics, I mean, it's more than code. It's directions. It is a map. That's what genetics are, right? And the map is to who the person's original identity is. And so every time they get the map of a Native American and they try to figure out where they come from, they keep running into a problem. They can't find anything to match it. Now, earlier this year, okay, here we go. This is where I'm at. So now the modern day chapters of Naya's story began in 2007 when a trio of divers discovered Hoyo Negro. The moment we entered the site, we knew it was an incredible place. One of the divers, Albert Navo, told reporters. As the divers explored the vast chamber, they found it was littered with bones of now extinct animals, including ground sloths and elephant-like creatures known as the gomphotheres. They also found a human skull lying upside down on a ledge surrounded by other bones, and that skeleton was named Naya, echoing the Greek term of a water nymph. You see what I'm saying? You see, here we go again. You're going to name Naya a name after the Greeks, who, like I said, them motherfuckers is nowhere older, right? Nowhere old. Like, won't you name it something that old? That shit is disrespectful, goddammit. That's like right now calling some old motherfucker Yeezy or some stupid shit like that. That old man look at you like, what the fuck you just call me? You call me Yeezy? The fuck is a Yeezy? What type of shit is that? You don't call something that old some fucking old, dumbass Greek shit, young ass Greek shit. The fuck out of here. Naya's skull had the look of the Paleo-Americans, a broad forehead, narrow face, wide set eyes, and outward jutting jaw. About the opposite of what Native Americans look like. Can I say that again? Naya's skull had the look of the Paleo-Americans, a broad forehead, narrow face, wide set eyes, and outward jutting jaw. About the opposite of what Native Americans look like, said applied paleoscience anthropologist James Chatters, the principal author of the science paper. Several methods were used to determine how old the remains were. And look, side note, I do gotta give it up to the scientists who are white and who tell the truth. Real talk, like real shit. I gotta give it up to y'all. I gotta commend y'all for telling the truth. Like, and when I say telling the truth, like you're really doing science. You know what I'm saying? Like you are actually doing real science, and that's real scholarship. That's real academia. When, like I said, you put your narrow-minded, bias, supremacy-filled concepts to the side, and you actually, pursue and and go into what you love to do, which is science. And some people, like I said, that they see it going, I can't lie about shit like this. And I know there's some of them that are white that tell the truth, and I appreciate that. God damn it, I do. I appreciate that because some of the information that I have, I know I wouldn't have if it wasn't for that white dude who said this shit is wrong and motherfuckers need to know the truth. And I appreciate you for that. That's how we gonna change this world, man. That's how we gonna change this world, man. That's how we're gonna change this world. Is that people who benefit from white supremacy, they understand the fact that white supremacy is not only holding all the truths, but they are hiding the truths. And then only certain people are privy to them, just like good, successful lives. And that's why, like I said, I commend white people who are aware of white supremacy. So then they make it a point to give every race of people a chance for a job opportunity, every race of people a chance for schooling, every race of people a chance for any kind of health care or anything they need. Why? Not just because they white or not just because they feel bad. It's because they're human just like them. I know that there's white people that think like that. I know they're out there, and I know that they've done some big things. But my point is that the only way we can change that is motherfuckers to recognize a system that lets them benefit, but doesn't let other people benefit. That's how you fix the shit, is when you start seeing what system that you are helping out that's benefiting you, but fucking everybody else around you. See, that's a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand that they get to go into grocery stores and see people that look like them every fucking day. They get to turn on the TV and turn on channel 459 and see people that look like them all the goddamn time. I gotta wait for my show to come on. People look like me. I gotta wait. I gotta wait a couple hours, and then Blackish gonna pop up. When Blackish is over, all the shows look like y'all. You don't think that makes me feel weird? You don't think that makes me feel weird that I'm constantly watching shit that doesn't look like me all my life? Watching fucking He-Man, Saved by the Bell. Was there even a fucking... Lisa was the only black goddamn person on Saved by the Bell, and she was the finest one too, by the way. But you understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck you think that makes somebody feel when anything around them is purposely made not to look like them? That is not just because motherfuckers just feel, that's done on purpose. That's what y'all motherfuckers need to understand. That shit is done intentionally. Why Wonder Woman is always some fine-ass white lady is because that's what they want you to perceive an all-women fucking group of civilizations. When we know damn well the real Amazons were the Dahomies of Africa, who did not look anything like that. Are they going to tell you that? Does even Wonder Woman herself go, well, let me tell you about the real Wonder Woman. Let me enlighten y'all about history. No, that bitch eats that shit up so everybody can think she's the fucking Wonder Woman. And then little white babies going to grow up thinking Wonder Woman and all, are all white, fine-ass fucking warrior women. Which, that's not true. History tells you the ones that were called the Amazonians were actually black, dark-skinned women, all women armies. Why would they not tell you that? Why would they not want to tell little black girls that? It's because they don't want them to feel that. It's because that's why right now Black Panther that's why Black Panther is so hyped right now. It's because we've never had a superhero. We've never had one. We've never had one. I mean, how many fucking Marvel movies y'all have made with the X-Men's and the goddamn whatever the fuck, the Supermans, the Masters, or the fucking, all this shit with nothing but gold-haired looking people, and everybody look like y'all. And that made y'all feel incredible. That made y'all want to be Superman. That made y'all want to go save that girl. You have to understand that the only reason why you enjoyed it so much is because those people look like you. That's why you enjoyed Superman so fucking much growing up. That's why you enjoyed Power Rangers so goddamn much. That's why you enjoyed all that shit, is because it looked like you. Life is easier. Life is better when you see things that resemble you. If you live in situations where you don't see that, that is detrimental. It is detrimental to your mental and to everybody else that is affected by that. Even the non-whites. Even the non-whites. Because they start getting a feeling of supremacy going, oh, well, we're the shit. We run everything. Like, we're the fucking superheroes. We're the hot models. We're the... Then if you don't ever see other people around you in different lights, you will only see them in the light that you deem them. If you've never seen a black superhero, you will never think a black person can be a superhero. If you've never seen a black doctor, you will never think a black person can be a doctor. If you've never seen a black basketball player, you will never think a black person can be a basketball player. These things are important and they are detrimental if they are implemented to the level they are now, which is why we are in the place we are now, where we got motherfuckers who are 8,000 years old trying to tell us about people who are 3.2 million fucking years old. How the fuck does that work? How does your son tell you about how does your son tell everybody about your grandfather? About 1922, when he was born in fucking 2014 or 2010. How the fuck does that kid tell somebody what happened, what was popping in 1922? He can't. He can't do it. All he can do is tell you what mysteriously fucking happened. Shit disappearing out of nowhere. Civilizations of people just disappearing out of nowhere. That's all he can tell you. Because he wasn't fucking there. So now several methods were used to determine how old the remains were, including radiocarbon dating of tooth enamel and uranium thorium dating of crystals that accumulated on the bones. Those methods indicated that Naya was somewhere between 12,000 and 13 years old. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's all you can do. But see, this is the thing with me, and this is the difference. Let me holler at y'all real quick. This is the difference. Y'all need carbon dating. We just go to the walls. Y'all need carbon dating. We just go to our ancient African spiritual systems. Y'all go to carbon dating. We just look to the stars. That's the difference. Y'all need microscopes. We look at the stars. You know what the Dogons are? The Dogons knew about the star system Sirius. Not only did they know about Sirius, the North Star, but then they also knew about the white dwarf planet that resides next to it, which is invisible to the naked fucking eye. No microscope was there. Maybe crystals that were used as microscopes, but that's more intuitiveness. And however else we gathered information, I can't tell you, but my point is, we didn't have no goddamn carbon dating, carbon testing, and all that shit. We didn't have that. We didn't have that. We didn't build pyramids using a goddamn ruler or a crane or a goddamn tractor. We didn't have that. We didn't need it. We didn't need it. We didn't need none of that shit. That shit was there before any fucking mechanical whatever was ever built. That shit been there, and none of it can. What crane can even build a pyramid, a real ass pyramid? No, nobody's even tried this shit. You know why? It's because you can't do it. You can't do it. No one can build this shit. Y'all can't even figure out how the fuck they were built. It's because y'all didn't do it. And y'all done killed the information or hid it. One of the two. I don't know. I know one thing. They don't know. I know they don't know. You know why they don't know? Because it ain't from their land. You know why they don't know? Because they're only 8,000 years old. The shit has got nothing to do with them. But they want to come in there, dig, grab all the artifacts, put it in their fucking museums, and try to tell you, oh, let me translate the Metanetta for you. Let me break down the Rosetta Stone for you. Motherfucker, you are the baby. How's the baby trying to tell the grown motherfucking man how to speak? How is the baby telling the man how to speak? It don't work like that. That's why we got the shit we're in now. It's because we got the baby doing all the talking. The baby running the house. The baby is making the laws. The baby owns everything. So like I said, carbon testing, crystal fucking analyze, all the genome test, all that shit. Like I said, for me, I never needed any of that to know where I'm from and what I am. Never. Not one time. Why? It's because my spirituality, my people, my village, my tribe, they instilled that shit in me. They instilled it in me. They taught it. They sang it. They fed it for millions of years. Millions. That type of genetic code you cannot ignore, Dunny. That's why you can't ignore when you find 3-million-year-old skeletons here, 13-year-old skeletons here, 73-year-old skeletons here. You can't ignore that shit. You can't ignore it. You can't sit here and talk about Native Americans came from the Bering Strait, and then you realize that there's skeletons all over the Americas that are older than the fucking Native American. What that tell you? That you don't know what you're talking about is because you young. Yeah, you young. You don't know shit. You don't know about the Olmecs. You don't know about that. So, through these various ways of testing, the radiocarbon testing of the tooth enamel, the uranium thorium dating of the crystals, and the accumulated bones, these methods indicated that Naya was 12 to 13 years old. The genetic verdict was the clincher. Oh shit. Mitochondrial DNA extracted from one of Naya's teeth confirmed a common genetic lineage with the ancient Beringians and modern-day Americans. What this study is presenting for the first time is the evidence that the Paleo-Americans with those distinctive features can be directly tied to the same source population as contemporary Native Americans, said Deborah Bowling, an anthropologist at the University of Texas who helped with genetic analysis. Such findings suggest that the physical differences between Paleo-Americans and Native Americans are due to the population changes that took place in Beringia and the Americas. So Naya and them folks have been there. And so the Naya and her folks had sex with something else that created Native Americans. So they're not direct descendants. They had the same way that we just talked about something had sex with Neanderthals and created white people is the same basically a concept that this article is saying about the Mexicans or the Native Americans, saying that the scenario meshes. Where is it? Where's that? Okay. Where is it at? Okay, so the study is presenting for the first time that it's the evidence that Paleo-Americans with those distinctive features can be directly tied to the same source population as contemporary. You see, they can be tied to them. They're not the direct descendants of them. So they're saying that they are a derivative of them, right? Like I said, the same way where when they talk about the hunter-gatherers of the Black Sea, right, and the steppes of Eurasia. And so for me, what that's telling me is that the ancients that were living there, that came from Africa, like I said, somehow their DNA was swapped in there with these Native American people, and it created Native Americans. I don't know what. Like I don't know. I'll tell you straight up. I don't know. Such findings suggest that the physical differences between the Paleo-Americans and Native Americans are due to the population changes that took place. Okay, so there we go. There they're talking about that. That's where the sex was happening at. Motherfuckers was getting it in. And are not the result of separate migrations. You see what I'm saying? So the scenario meshes with the prevailing view about the first Americans so much that some anthropologists wonder whether the science study breaks all that new ground. It doesn't say anything new and doesn't dispute any of our findings, but likely overreaches in its conclusion because the DNA information falls short of being complete. Montana State University's Shane Doyle, one of the authors of the ANZINC-1 study, told NBC News. Doyle pointed out that the mitochondrial DNA does not provide nearly as much information as the nuclear DNA, that he and the other ANZIC 1 research studies. Huh. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, But see, my thing is this though. We want to talk about them folks, right? I, this is what we got to understand, that there were great civilizations back in them times, and like I said, and those civilizations existed way before carbon testing and uranium, thorium dating, all of that. So, and some of these civilizations, like I said, some of them we only know as collectively as ancient Egypt. Some we call them, ancient Ethiopia. Some people have called some of these civilizations Atlantis. Some have called them the Olmecs. But one thing's for sure is that all these different civilizations I've named, they all have the same thing in common. They all resided under the same law of the land. You understand what I'm saying? They all resided under the same law of the land, which was, number one, coexistence. Number two, the manifestation of spirituality and the understanding of the laws of nature, the universal laws of nature, that is, right? And then number three, the manifestation of, music, of art. You know what I'm saying? These things were pillars and foundations in ancient civilizations, which is why some of them thrived the way they did. You see, what people need to understand is, just because motherfuckers in Egypt had a pyramid, it doesn't mean motherfuckers in South Africa wanted a goddamn pyramid. What that means is that right now, where it's popping in regards to apps, right? App developments, where do you go? You go to Silicon fucking Valley, right? So just because the shit ain't popping in Oklahoma or in Texas, it doesn't mean the shit ain't happening. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, we have to keep in mind the fact that these civilizations just manifested what they wanted to manifest. If some people, like for example, let me give you a good example. Let me give you a really good example. The Zulus of South Africa, which is what I am, we are farmers. Farming was our love. That's what we did. That's what we did. Why? Is because farming was essential to maintaining our tribe and the health, right? And then we used this, we'll use our skins for trading, things like that nature for clothing, whatever. But my point is farming was our thing. Farming was our thing. And then it evolved to war. But see, we know that even till present day, the biggest gold and diamond reserves are in South Africa, and they produce up to 75% of the world's gold and diamonds and other minerals too. We know that. So that didn't just happen a couple of 100 years ago. That didn't just happen a couple of 1,000 years ago. Where do you think Egypt was getting their fucking gold? What do you think all them other civilizations was running around? I'm sure, don't get me wrong, there's gold all over the goddamn world, but my point is, the mines of South Africa specifically have been mined for Lord knows how long, millions, hundreds and thousands of fucking years. We know of meteoric beads that were hammered in a smithing concept 3200 BC. That's how old them shits were. And that's just a necklace. Who's making a goddamn necklace and that's it? Like a necklace, you just making that shit on the side for your girl. That ain't shit. So that's what I'm saying. My point is that imagine how serious it was if we're making necklaces out of meteoric iron. Understand what meteoric iron means. That means the iron has meteor in it. So that shit is not even from Earth. It's extraterrestrial. And we're making necklaces out of that shit. 3200 BC. And they can tell that it was burnt, smithed, and rolled. That's the concept of blacksmithing. Is that you burn it, you roll it. And they could tell that it was meteoric iron because I forgot of the certain chemical, but there's a certain high level chemical of, I want to say it's uranium and something else, but there's two certain chemicals, that are on the periodic table that are, extremely high when it comes to extraterrestrial rock as opposed to anything, planetary that's Earth, that's in this Earth. So uranium or something else, I forgot what it was. But anyway, my point being is this: the technologies of just even blacksmithing alone are thousands years old. How do you think motherfuckers was making spears back in the day? We weren't making the stone shit, chips. Nah, we were making real ass spears. We're making real ass spears. The Zulu, we're known for our spear game. We're known for our spear game. So we can't sit here and act like just because some of us, like I said, we heard like in Sudan, they got lines of pyramids. Ancient Kemet, lines of pyramids. Egypt, lines of pyramids. Goddamn, you go, hell, then you go to South America, lines of pyramids. You go to the North Americas, lines of pyramids. You go to Eastern Europe, lines of pyramids. Go to Asia, pyramids. What? All these people didn't know each other? All these people didn't know each other? You tell me Egyptians was mining gold, walking right past the Zulus in South Africa, and they didn't know each other? You trying to tell me the white and the blue Nile, which flow north and south, and east and west, you trying to tell me these motherfuckers don't jump on the white Nile and flow all the way down to South Africa and any other fucking country on that side, and then flow right back up that river? You trying to tell me we never use those river systems and boats? Oh, we didn't have boats? Oh, so boats weren't painted on the fucking walls of goddamn Egypt? How the fuck we ain't got no boats when we're painting boats on the walls? Not even just like a little rinky-dink goddamn John boat. I'm talking about big ass yacht looking shits. Celestial Nile type shit. So for me, for people to assume, like I said, to me, it's just showing me how old you are. It's just showing you how old you are. It's just showing me how old you are. That's it. That's all it's showing me. Let me show you how old we are. So y'all need to figure out, since we talking about, like I said, we talking about Naya, who was around 12 to 13,000 years ago. Well, I'm gonna show y'all some civilizations that were around back then, that come from some of the strongest civilizations of Africa and the Mediterranean era. So Queen Califia, you know what I mean? Does that sound familiar? Califia, California, the land of the ever-living Moorish Empress, Califia. The Moorish Empress. Y'all know the Moors were navigators. Y'all know the Moors helped the Pilgrims even sail to the fucking Americas. They didn't know how to sail. Califia was the title of each empress. California was her land. She was known to be black of skin, of the Moorish nationality, and ruled over islands of black people from California, Baja, all the way to Hawaii. The Moorish island ruled by women. It was first mentioned in the records of the Western European Christians in the 7th century and retold the Song of Roland. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? The Moorish land ruled by women, it was first mentioned in the records of the Western European Christians in the 7th century. So understand that these people, it's not a myth. It's not a myth. It's not a goddamn story. It's not a fairy tale. The first mentioned records of the Western, it was first mentioned in the records of the Western European Christians in the 7th century and retold the Song of Roland, where a passing mention of a place called Caliphern was made, perhaps because it was the caliph's domain. See, here's the source right here, boom, of the book. Herbert Ingram, Peace Rule, ed. California, the name Berkeley University of California. Spanish conquistadors told stories about a mystical black Moorish queen that ruled a state of California, situated in the same location as the present-day California. Okay, let's break that down real quick. The Spanish conquistadors told stories about a mystical black Moorish queen that ruled the state of California. Okay, so let me give y'all, let me show y'all how, why, number one. Okay, so the Spanish conquistadors are the ones that were colonizing that area and invading that area. So y'all need to understand that that's like when Europeans were invading Africa, that's like they came in and started telling stories about powerful African people. Do you understand how stupid that is? How, so my point is that your invader will not tell fake stories about powerful people within your fucking civilization, because that garners you a sense of identity, and not even just any identity, a powerful identity. So the last thing that motherfuckers was doing when they was coming to invade you was telling you fake stories about powerful people that look like you. So my point is that if you were talking about the Spanish, you can't be, they can't be lying if they talking about the queen of a place that they were trying to take over. That can't be a lie. That's my point. You can't be lying if I come to your house, I take all your shit over, and then I tell you that man, your fucking daddy was a bad motherfucker. Like he really had me scared. Do you understand if I tell you that you're gonna feel like, man, maybe I'm just like my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that you don't tell uplifting, crediting stories to a people that you're colonizing and telling them, hey, yeah, you guys had this mystical black queen that ruled this area. So the reason why I'm saying these stories are so valid is because even the conquerors were telling the story of Califia. That's why you have to understand how bona fide that shit is that even the motherfuckers taking over the land was talking about her. The same way you see white people talking about Geronimo, because that motherfucker was that bad. Because you don't respect that shit. You can't hide it. That's why you hear about Geronimo. It's because he was that goddamn bad. That's why you hear these Spanish conquistadors talking about Queen Califia, is because she was that goddamn bad. Straight up and down. And understand the fact that any type of documentary history that I can read was written by either a Spaniard or a European. So understand that if they gonna put anything down about black people saying that they were kings and queens, I know they don't want to do that in the first place, so I know they ain't lying. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, I already know about the Moors, and I already know about her relation to the Moors, but my point being is that in nowhere a colonizer is going to tell a story about the people that are colonizing and put them in a good light, let alone the queen. They'll never tell a story like that, and it'd be fake. So that's what I'm saying, that just adds to the validity of her existence, is because even the colonizers who came there were talking about her. And then even the Europeans who weren't there were talking about it. European Christians, Western European Christians at that. Them motherfuckers was not even close to her, and they were talking about her. That's because she existed. And y'all don't even know about her. You know? Califia, Queen of California. The Moors in Califia. Califia means God's ruler in Moorish Arabic. Understand, Arabic is a Moorish language. You know, all the time I'm thinking it was a Middle Eastern language. Arabic is a Moorish language because Arabic is not even a race of people. A lot of times we confuse the quote unquote Middle East people as Arabs. They're not even fucking Arab. Arab is not a race of people. An Arab is a place Arab is a place, the Arab Peninsula. So if you are of Arab descent, that means you come from the Arab Peninsula. That doesn't mean you goddamn you look like the people that live there right now. But like I said, races, you know what I'm saying? Just because white people like to call white, black, this, that. So now when you say Arab, you think of a person living in goddamn Iran. But the only reason why he's actually an Arab is just because he lives in that vicinity. Arab is not a race. It is not a race. People don't understand that. The story of Califia was later re-narrated in the book of The Adventures of Esplandian, a book written in 1500, probably based on stories gleaned from the old Moorish seamen of Spain, Portugal, Holland, Belgium, and England. Y'all understand what the fucking Moors are? Man, bro, this shit is beautiful. You understand me? Like, and it should show you how prevalent like I said, how prevalent she was, because not only were the Western Europeans talking about her, not only were the conquistadors talking about her, but these motherfuckers got to writing books. And this looks like a Spaniard who wrote this book about her. Like I said, your conqueror is not going to be writing books about you if you did not exist and you really held some kind of weight. Feel me? Calafia is introduced as a regal Moorish black woman, courageous, strong of limb, and large in person, Amazon, full in the bloom of womanhood, the most beautiful of a long line of queens who ruled over the mythical realm of California. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers can call it mythical all you want, but like I said, we just established the fact that that Naya, that Naya had the genome testing of 12,000 years old and did not match the Native Americans. So we understand that the people that were before the Native Americans not only were different from the Native Americans, but then we know that the European gene is only 8,000 years old, and we know that the African was moving into Europe and all them spots 40,000 years ago, almost up to 200,000 years ago. So now we cannot assume that people like Calafia and Naya are not the same goddamn complexion, because anything else that was a fair skin came 8,000 years ago. She supposedly commanded a fleet of ships with which she ruled and maintained peace in the surrounding lands and islands, including Baja and Hawaii. That's what I'm saying. Y'all motherfuckers always go, oh, I wonder who put those statues up there in the Pacific Islands and da 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 da. I wonder who put that shit over there in the Olmec statues. She reportedly kept an aerial defense force of griffins and other fabulous animals which were native to California, trained to defend the land against the invaders. And I've heard about that, about animals being trained to defend the land. Right now, even in the South Pacific, some tribes will tell you that they could train the whales, the sharks, to protect their land, and they could even differ them from different villagers who were coming to attack. They could differ them. You know what I'm saying? They knew who was home and who was away. And I've heard about those same type of stories. I've heard about these. I've been told these stories in my culture about the crocodiles back home, that some of the crocodiles were, what's the word I'm looking for? They were, they had allegiance to certain tribes because certain tribes would take care of them. So it's the same way like a dog, you know what I'm saying? Like after a while, they'll realize who you are and what you mean to them, and anything that differs from that, they will protect you. You understand what I'm saying? And so for us to also assume that griffins didn't exist, like I said, you're an idiot, right? Like you're an idiot. Like even I ain't never seen one, doesn't mean the shit didn't exist. You feel me? And I just read that article about Naya in the Hoyo Negro, which is that cave that Naya was found in, the 13-year-old girl in Mexico, that they found other extinct animals. They said they found a ground sloth. Have y'all ever seen a ground sloth? No, but the motherfucker existed. They found some weird, they said they found a weird elephant-like goddamn animal. So my point is that there's a lot of shit that y'all don't know about that does not exist. So I won't put it past that she trained griffins. You can train a falcon, can you? You can train a goddamn parrot, can you? Shit, you can train a fucking elephant. What, you can't train a goddamn griffin? She was so powerful, she could project her imperial power over the seas at the Mediterranean at will. Man, the Esplandian narrates that Calafia maintained cultural and trading contacts with the Moors of Africa. I'm going to say it again. The Esplandian narrates Calafia maintained cultural and trading contacts with the Moors in Africa. So that is assuming that there was not only trade routes, but that's constant commuting, right? Excuse me. Not even just any type of commuting, not just going down the street. You jumping on a goddamn boat and you moving, you're moving freight, right? You're moving cargo, right? Trade contacts, South America, Moors, Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not just a quick skip and a jump. That is sophisticated and solidified trade routes. That's solidified commuting back and forth, right? It told of her wars in the Mediterranean seas, in Anatolia, the Byzantine Empire, and in southern Europe. According to the author of the Adventures of Esplandian, know ye that at the right hand of the Indies there is an island called California, very close to that part of the terrestrial paradise, which was inhabited by black women without a single man. Among them, they lived in the manner of the Amazons. You see, the thing about the Amazons too, and the all women thing, of course, they still had to have sex. What they would do is they certain times of the year they would have these ceremonies with certain villages that were pre-chosen, right, based on their bloodline and who they were, blah blah blah. But they would have these ceremonies where they would have sex with certain tribes and create more kids. The women would stay with the women tribe, the all women tribe, and then the sons would go back to the tribe that has women and men. So, and the reason why we did that is because, at least this is what I think. Obviously, I'm not sure exactly why, but it's because we understood the fact of, see, before all of this shit, before the X and the Y chromosome, it was only the X, and that's why we do things like that. Is because we understand the fact that in nature, the Y chromosome actually comes from the X. What the Y chromosome is, which is us as men, are actually a depleted fucking X chromosome. You understand what I'm saying? If you picture a Y and then picture an X. The Y is just missing one of the fucking things from the X. And so if you think about it too, women got titties. You got titties? No. Boom. That's part of the shit that's missing. Women have high voices. You got a deep voice. Boom. That's part of the shit that's missing. Understand that what we come from is actually from the goddamn woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like all women anything, that's why those things are taken serious, because at one point in time, that's actually what it was. That's actually what it was. Women were parthenogenetically modified. They were parthenogenetically built. Now, parthenogenesis, whatever you want to call it, parthenogenesis. I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. Parthenogenesis is the act of self reproduction. So it's a form of asexualization. That is what parthenogenesis is. So my point is that was the means of reproduction in the earlier stages of human civilization, human evolution. And I think that not only do we hold on to that because we respect the fact that we came from the woman, and heaven is the woman's womb. You understand? So the island itself, one of the wildest in the world on account of the bald, craggy rocks. The crusader and conqueror of the territory of California, Hernan Cortez, and his men were familiar with the book. Cortez quoted liberally from the book, and it did have an influence on his decision to look for the island of California. As governor of Mexico, he sent out an ill-fated expedition of 2 ships, one guided by the famous pilot Forxan Jimenez. That expedition did not fare well at all, and most of the ships and the men were lost. In 1535, Cortez led an expedition back to the land of California, and decided to rename it Santa Cruz. However, that name did not stick, as the natives and the Moors and the Black Indians and the Red Indians and the so-called whites continued to use ancient and the old name California. So let's just go into more of it. So what I want to do is, like I said, man, I want to show you just in that same time period. I'm talking about back here when she was popping off. Y'all got to know about the Olmecs. You see what I'm saying? Remember how we were talking about Naya, who was 12,000 to 13,000 years old? Well then, isn't this strange? The mysterious Olmec civilization prospered in pre-classical Mesoamerica from 12,000 BCE to 400 BCE. Ain't that around the same time as Naya? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now, what we know about the Olmec civilization is generally considered as the forerunners of all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures. Do you hear me, my Mexican partners? My Native American partners? The Olmec civilization is generally considered to be the forerunners of all subsequent Mesoamerican cultures, such as the Maya and the Aztecs, centered in the Gulf of Mexico, now the states of Veracruz and Tabasco. Their influence and trade activity spread over 1200 BCE. Remember when we were just talking about Khalifia's trade? Same shit. even reaching as far as south in present-day Nicaragua. Monumental sacred complexes, massive stone sculptures, ball games, chocolate drinking, and animal gods were features of Olmec civilization. So the Olmec civilization presents something of a mystery indeed. We do not know what they call themselves, as the Olmec was their Aztec name and meant rubber people. So that's telling you that the people that came after them gave them a name to what described them. So basically, the same way what motherfuckers did with us, motherfuckers who came after us, the modern European, the white people, started calling us black people, describing us. This is the same shit the Aztecs did. Modern fucking Aztecs came, and when they came through, and started seeing them, and they described them as what they looked like, as opposed to finding out who they were or asking them who they were. But see, that tells me that they had no connection to them. That tells me they didn't know these motherfuckers, because if I walk up to you and just call you what you look like as opposed to asking what your name is, that means we never fucking talked. I just looked at you and said, oh, that's goddamn Pinky, because he looks pink to me. But really, your name is fucking Carlos. Did I ask you what your name was? No. I just fucking called, I just named you what you look like. So right there should show you the lack of information that even the Aztecs had about these quote unquote rubber people that precede them, right? That they even say that gave them the knowledge and the understanding of religion or whatever, you know what I'm saying, of spirituality. They credit all that shit to the Olmecs. But like I said, they don't know nothing about them. We just call them the rubber people because that's what they look like to us. How the fuck you can call me what why don't you call me by my name? How about that? It's because you don't know me. That's why you can't call me by my name. Due to a lack of archaeological evidence, their ethnic origins and the location and extent of many of their settlements are not known. The Olmecs did, however, codify and record their gods and religious practices using symbols. How similar to fucking ancient Egypt. Ain't that strange? The precise significance of these records is much debated about. At the very least, its complexity does suggest some sort of organized religion involving a priesthood. How similar to fucking ancient Egypt. The Olmec religious practices of sacrifice, cave rituals, pilgrimage, offerings, ball courts, pyramids, and the seeming awe of mirrors was also passed on to all subsequent civilization in Mesoamerica. Pyramids. How similar to motherfucking ancient Egypt. When, like I said, you will see some of these scientists will try to act like these civilizations have never crossed paths. Even Mexicans, Native Americans will try to act like, we ain't got nothing to do with Africa. Then why the fuck does everything y'all have look just like our shit at our house? You don't think it's not from the same goddamn builders? No. Same architects? No. Same blueprints? No. Same fucking boss? No. Like, that shit don't make no goddamn sense, man. It don't make no sense. And you know what? Let me just get to that real quick. Hold on. First, okay. This is what I'll do. I'll read just one more passage and I'm going to get to the next point. Olmec prosperity was initially based on exploiting the fertile and well-watered coastal areas of the Gulf of Mexico to grow such crops as corn and beef, which allowed for an agricultural surplus. They also, no doubt, gathered the plentiful local supply of plant food, palm nuts, and sea life, including turtles and clams. By 1200 BCE, which is around when Naya was alive or died, around the time she died, because she was only alive for about 15 years, what they say. By 1200 BCE, which is around that time, significant urban centers developed at San Lorenzo, the earliest. Do you understand what I'm saying to y'all? So they're saying when she was alive, they had significant urban centers developed at San Lorenzo, La Venta, Laguna de los Cerros, Tres Zapatos, and Las Limas. San Lorenzo reached its peak of prosperity and influence between 1200 and 900 BC. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So motherfuckers was doing just fine when Naya was... See, they try to make it seem Naya was running around in caves looking for food, and which I'm not saying motherfuckers probably didn't do some shit like that, but my point is that at this time, it's well recorded that these people were living like fucking champs. Living like champs. When its strategic position safe from flooding, they created dams. They created damming systems, allowed it to control local trade. Typical Olmec trade goods included obsidian, jade, serpentine, mica, rubber, pottery, feathers, and polished mirrors of ilmenite and magnetite. These people were balling. You see, when you read here, they indicate that Naya was somewhere between 12,000 and 13,000 years old. So if you think about it now, okay, so that's about 11,000 BC, right? Roughly, right? Roughly 11,000 BC is when she was popping off, right? 12,000 BC. This is when this was popping off, right? Boom, right? This is when this was popping off in that area, Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico. Where was she at? Where was Naya at? She was in Mexico. Where is it at? Alberto Navarro, 145 depth in Oyo Negro. Hold on, I just gotta find that real quick. But yeah, she's in Mexico. Right here. Right there. In Mexico. Underwater cave in Mexico. And I'm talking about a civilization that was thriving in Mexico in the same time, and there's a Gulf of Mexico. Right there. The motherfuckers wasn't cave people. These people were balling out of control. These black people were balling out of control. Evidence of San Lorenzo's high culture includes the presence of mound structures, possible an early ball court. How you gonna tell me these people were savages when they had ball courts? God damn it! Carved basalt drains through one of the man-made mounds, and the red palace structure with painted red floors and workshops. Around 900 BCE, the site of San Lorenzo displays evidence of systematic destruction, while La Venta conversely began to flourish and becoming the new capital. These motherfuckers had ball courts. How the fuck are they savages? How are these people savages? They got drains and shit like that. How are these people savages? All right, so let's look at the Olmecs, what they look like, because obviously we know that they were not related and are not descendants of the Mayans, Aztecs, Native Americans, Mexicans, none of them, right? We know that. We know, if anything, the Aztecs and Mayans are closer related to Naya. They have a derivative of Naya in them, but they're not even a descendant of Naya. They're not even full descendant of Naya. So that should tell you that they're not that old. But let me show you what is that old. These faces right here. You see that face right there? You see that face right there? You see that face right there, man? You see that? You see them thick ass lips that were chipped off? You see that big ass nose? You see that? Does that look like an Indian to you? Does it look like a Mexican, Native American? Does it look like a white person? What does that look like to you? What do them lips look like to you? What do those lips look like to you? Look at that nose, man. Look at that nose. What that look like to you? Look like a Mexican? Look like a Mexican to you? Look like a Indian? Native American? Wide face? Wide nose? Thick lips? What is that? What does that look like? I don't know what the fuck that was. But tell me what that looked like right there. That looked like the homie. That looked like one of my homies. One of my homie Crow. That looked like one of the homies Big Crow. That looked like one of the homies Big Crow. They look like one of the homies Big Crow. See, look what they trying to do. You see what they trying to do here? You see what they're trying to do? We already talked about y'all's bloodline though. Y'all's bloodline is not older than even Naya. And the Olmecs are older than Naya. So how the fuck y'all gonna tell me? Huh? How you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me? And then what makes it even worse is, let me tell you what makes it even worse. Let me tell you what makes it even worse. Is that when you see the similarities, how the fuck do people not know each other and then they do everything so fucking the same? Like, somebody please explain that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody explain that to me. Like how can I make a bicycle, right, with two wheels and a pedal, just what you know as a bicycle, and then some other motherfucker on the other side of the world we've never met, never seen each other, don't know him from Adam, and he makes the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Only thing that's different is just his shit is one color, mine is another. I mean, I can't like I was, it's like what you're probably thinking I was gonna make it a little more. No, it's literally the exact same shit, and then we don't even know each other. What? We never talk. Nobody ever said anything. Just somehow you thought of a bike and I thought of a bike. Somehow you thought of making a pyramid and then I thought of making a pyramid. Like pyramids are just that easy to make too, right? Like motherfuckers just wake up and go, hey, let's make some shit that no one can ever replicate, ever, ever, ever. Now one billionaire has tried to make a pyramid, like a real deal one. Like, the shit they got in Vegas ain't a pyramid. That's a building. I'm talking about a real pyramid. Talking about real pyramid, limestone bricks. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the four, is it 3 side, 4 side, whatever the fuck. I'm talking about real deal pyramid. That shit has never been replicated because they don't know how they built it. They don't know how they built it. You know why they don't know? Because they're not of them. The 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 mixed people that call themselves Muslims over there, they don't know. That's why they let Europeans come in and dig and tell them what happened because they don't know the shit. They didn't go to the Europeans didn't go to the middle to the Middle Eastern looking people and go, hey, what happened here? Like this is y'all shit, right? Like tell us about your pharaohs and da. Them motherfuckers didn't know. That's why they said no. Y'all come in and dig and we'll charge y'all for digging, but tell us what the story is. Tell us what happened because it ain't their fucking history. It ain't their history. But let me tell you what is. What you see, the culture, the practice, the architecture of the motherland is just the same as the sister of the motherland, which is South America. You see, what people don't understand is South America is the sister of the motherland. What you have in Africa is what you have in South America. From animals to even vegetation, it's cousins to each other. All the shit is cousins to each other. You got crocodiles in Africa. You got alligators in goddamn South America. Cousins. You got leopards in Africa. You got jaguars in South America. Goddamn cousins. Cousins. You got python in Africa. You got anaconda in South America. Cousins. You got the Nile in Africa. You got the Amazon River in South America. Cousins. Should I keep going? You got the elephant in Africa. Guess what's in fucking South America? A fucking elephant. They're not as big, but the motherfuckers is there. Cousins. The temperature of Africa is hot. What the fuck is it in the Amazon? Do you understand what I'm saying? These are all mirror effects of the same shit. The only thing that's different over there is just because it's on that side of town. That's it. So the only reason why the jaguar is stockier than the leopard is just because of the terrain that's over there. That's it. Besides that, they're both from the same feline group. What the python is to Africa is what the is what the anaconda is to the Amazon. Same shit. And so what the pyramid is in Africa is just the same in South America. They're cousins. Do you and your cousins look just alike? No. Y'all share similarities because y'all come from the same source. Y'all don't look alike. A leopard and a panther. A jaguar and a leopard. The reason why they don't look exactly alike is because they are cousins. They just share the same source. They share the same source. A python and an anaconda, they share the same source. So if I'm showing y'all this in nature, it's only the same when it comes to us as the human beings, which we are part of fucking nature. So when you are talking about the establishment of culture in the Egyptian times, the same thing is happening in South America because it's from the same source. That's why all this shit's the same, motherfucker. That's why it all looks the same. God damn it. You fucking man, let me show y'all, man. God damn. The ancient Egyptians and the ancient pre-Incas evolved on opposite sides of the globe. And look at these motherfuckers say they were never in contact. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see, there's that ignorant ass 8,000-year-old mind again. We gonna break that shit down real quick. They say, this idiot, it says here too, German. Yeah, you got to be, you German. Yeah, you 8,000 years old, player. This motherfucker says the ancient Egyptian in Africa and the ancient pre-Incas in South America evolved on the opposite side of the globe and were never in contact. How the fuck are they never? Okay, hold on, we'll break it down, man. We're just gonna break it down before I eat your ass up. Yet, both cultures, oh, here we go with the mysterious word again. Here we go with the mysterious word again. Hey yo, these scientists love using that mysterious word. Like I said, if you don't know what your grandpa did, all you can say that shit was mysterious because I wasn't there. I'm not old enough, so all I can tell you is they mysteriously there we go with the mysterious shit again. When they don't know, they just call it mysterious. It's all mystery. Right? Right? So then how the fuck could that mystery confirm this conclusion saying that they were never in contact? Because somehow mysteriously everything is so similar, but they're never in contact. How do you get to the conclusion of them being in contact when you see so many similarities, but then you deem them mysterious? That's like saying, like I said, that's like saying a goddamn leopard and a jaguar got nothing in common, just because you've never seen them together. That shit crazy, bro. So check this out. Yet both cultures mysteriously possessed the same strikingly identical body of ancient art, architecture, symbolism, mythology, and listen. Both cultures mysterious. This is what this fucking idiot is saying who wrote this article. I'm gonna show y'all how smart your historians are. This motherfucker said Egyptians in Africa and the ancient pre-Incas in South America evolved on the opposite sides of the globe and were never in contact, but somehow mysteriously possessed the same strikingly identical body of ancient art, architecture, symbolism, mythology, and religion. So you just named like 5 different things that they have identical, but then you still want to say that these people never had any contact. You see, the reason why they say shit like that is because if they said that there was contact, that it would blow a lot of their other fucking lies apart, like the Bible and all the other shit that they create. And then like I said, like if you look up Adam and Eve right now, it'll blow all that shit out the water, bro. So they gotta say mysteriously something because it's gonna blow all the other lies out the goddamn water. Remember I was telling y'all that when you lie, you have to have a good memory because you have to remember all your lies. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You see, that's why we are where we are as dark-skinned people. You see, we ain't got to lie about nothing, so we don't have good memories because we ain't got to lie about shit. But see, y'all got to keep up with the lies, and that's why y'all have to juggle words and say motherfuckers had no contact, but mysteriously have identical shit. Motherfuckers never seen each other, but somehow they have identical shit. Ain't that strange? That shit's strange, isn't it? Oh man, y'all motherfuckers is crazy. You see, that's what I'm saying. That's that blissful ignorance right there. You know what I'm saying? That only a child can have some wild, kind of conclusion like that. Like, yeah, this makes sense, but then at the same time, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't make sense to me when I say it to myself. That's that blissful ignorance that you see that these motherfuckers are identical, but yet you are intent on separating them. Why? It's because you don't like them. It's because you deem them less than human. That's the only reason why you can't accept the fact that these motherfuckers have been doing the same shit together. So, back to it. The Victorian era scholars faced with this enigma. You see, The Victorian era. That's telling you how young these motherfuckers are. They saying it themselves. The Victorian era scholars, young motherfuckers, they faced with an enigma. I don't know what to do. Ah, shit. What is this? I don't know what it is, man. But there's no way they've seen each other. But all the shit look alike. But nah, there's no way they've seen each other. Faced with an enigma, concluded that both cultures must have been children of the same golden age parent civilization. Oh, now you want to tell us too what the civilization that is, and they call it Atlantis. Today, Egyptian Inca parallels are not only being ignored by American and Western scholars, they are being suppressed. I'm gonna repeat that. The Victorian era scholars faced with the enigma concluded that both cultures must have been children of the same golden age parent civilization, Atlantis. Today, Egyptian Inca parallels are not only being ignored, but American and Western scholars, they are being suppressed. They are being suppressed. Just like I told y'all. See, this is the thing. I pre-approved some of these articles, but like I said, like I didn't know that they were gonna say that right there. Because, like I said, I already know that if they admit some of the bullshit that they lie on, like I said, it would blow the rest of the lies out of the water. So, because motherfuckers will go, well, then why'd y'all tell us about Adam and Eve then? Why'd you say Adam and Eve? Why'd you paint Adam and Eve this color? Because then they'll have to say we lied. But then they don't want to say that. They can't say that they lied. You see what I'm saying? So that's why they're sticking to the fact of let's just modify the history. Let's just say we came first. Let's just call Adam and Eve. Let's just say Adam and Eve was fucking white. Let's just make Jesus look like a hippie from the 70s. Let's just do that. Because that's easier. You know what I'm saying? That's easier than telling the truth and saying that they're not the first. It's easier to lie. It's harder to tell the truth. But then it's harder to keep up with them goddamn lies. That's why, like I said, they put themselves in this box by saying things mysteriously disappeared. Or mysteriously are identical yet yet don't know each other. That's why they have to say these dumbass oxymoron statements, because they are using biased information. Many baffling and unsolved similarities link the ancient Egyptians and the ancient pre-Incas, even though both cultures evolved on opposite sides of the planet, separated by oceans. You see, there we go again with that ignorant shit. If y'all look at this map right here, y'all see that they're not on the opposite sides of the fucking world. Like, I'm not saying if you're sitting on West Africa, you can just look over there and see goddamn Argentina. No, but my point is that boats will take your ass to that side, but then take your ass back to where you come from. So you see, the ignorance in these motherfuckers assume that we didn't have boats, that we wasn't trading, commuting, when I just explained to y'all about the Olmecs running goddamn trade routes 1200 BCE and at their peak. And that was their peak. So before then, they been had it cracking. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand that to these idiots, we ain't have no boats. So how the fuck did they get there? They don't know how to make boats. We're the only ones that can make boats. No, you stupid motherfuckers. Boats been around, bro. That's why you see boats on the goddamn walls of Egypt, because we've been on them, bro. We've been on them. How the fuck we've drawn boats if you ain't never even been on one? How do you draw a boat if you ain't never fucking built one? How do you build a pyramid, draw boats on the pyramid, and then not have a goddamn boat? How much sense does that goddamn make? Boom, right here. We're going to start. Okay. We're going to start with this right here. Right here. Let's just get to it. Because I ain't got no more. I gotta get up tomorrow. I gotta get to work. So let's just get straight to it. Look at the pyramids, right? You see the pre-Inca pyramids on the left, the step pyramid, they got the step style pyramid, right? You see the Egyptian pyramids, right? Now, nobody is saying this shit's supposed to look identical, nor should it. I've just explained to y'all even animals of nature, the characters of nature that reside in Africa and South America, even they don't look the same. They're cousins. They just come from the same source. They're cousins. This is the same way. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. They are cousins. These are cousins. These pyramids are cousins. They're not supposed to look the same. Do you look just like your goddamn cousin? No. No, but y'all come from the same goddamn family tree. So y'all resemble each other. Y'all resemble. Do y'all see resemblance in these pyramids in South America and goddamn Africa, there is resemblance there. There is similarities. That's what you say when you see cousins. You say, damn, y'all kind of look alike. Y'all ain't fucking identical. I know y'all ain't brothers, but y'all look alike. You see what I'm saying? Both the ancient Egyptians and Incas, pre-Incas, built stone pyramids and step pyramids in the desert, along rivers, and aligned with cardinal points. In both cases, deceased were interred within. Y'all understand that? Y'all understand that? That not only did they build the same fucking types of fucking structures, but they all put them in the same places, along deserts. I mean, in the desert, along rivers, and aligned with cardinal points, essential cardinal geometrical points. This was essential for this shit. Strangers don't do shit like that, man. They don't do the same shit like that, man. I'm not gonna fucking build a goddamn model or something, and then a stranger gonna build the exact same fucking thing that look just like mine, bro, and we've never met before. That shit don't happen, especially something as prolific as a goddamn pyramid. Mummies. Both Egyptian and Inca pre-Incas mummified their dead, which symbolized life beyond death. Mummies were interred inside pyramids, often with food, offerings, and personal belongings. Both cultures believed in life beyond death. Is that coincidence? No, motherfucker. It's because they both believed in the same shit. It's because they were cousins. Mummies with crossed arms. We still in the mummies. Not just mummifying somebody, but then when you mummify them, you put them in a certain position, which is supposed to depict a certain action, right? Why? Both Egyptians and Incas, pre-Incas, they crossed the arms of their mummified dead. They both crossed the arms of their mummified dead. One of them didn't just put the arms on the hands, on the legs. They didn't just put the arms on the stomach. They put them both on the chest. Both did it on the chest. This was to show the balanced state that one entered in death as one lived a balanced life. The two arms denote opposites in balance, a left side and a right side. Y'all try to tell me that complete strangers somehow got to the same conclusion of when they die, they're gonna go out the same way too. Like I said, bro, these motherfuckers were telepathic, right? They had to be. How the fuck do complete strangers literally bury their dead the same too? Motherfuckers live and die the same, and they never seen each other. What type of shit is that? Live and die the same, but don't have no connection. Gold funeral mask. Both Egyptian Incas and pre-Incas placed gold mask upon their dead. Not bronze, not silver. Gold. Both of them specifically. And gold, what you got to do with gold? You can't just walk down the street and grab a piece of gold. You got to go mine that shit. After you're done mining it, you got to shape it. So I understand just even the concept, the practice of mining, the practice of smithing metals. You don't just stumble on that. You are trained and taught that. To show such definition in the face, that just shows you, okay, let's just look at these two goddamn gold funeral masks right here. That shows you what cousin has been around longer. Right there. Just looking at these masks shows you what cousin, who's older, cousin? Who's older? Who's older? It's telling you. Look at the Egyptian face and then look at the pre-Inca face. If you look at the pyramids, think of the Egyptian pyramid and think of the South American. It'll show you which cousin has seniority. It will show you. The same way when you and your cousin walk down the street, you ain't got to tell me who's old, who is what age. I know just by the way y'all move. Just by the way you move, I know who's older. Just by the way y'all move, I'll know who's older. The way I'm looking, and just by the way of the detail and the preciseness of this art, of these gold masks, it can tell you who was the better sculptors, who was the more seasoned, experienced fucking sculptors, who's been doing this for a while. It shows you right there. The placed gold mask upon their dead, symbolizing their entering back into eternity. The other side of the veil, the higher home in the heavens, which is eternal and spiritual, unlike earth, which is temporary and physical. It only conveys an alchemical sense, the idea that while they were here, these eternal souls took on the lead of human form and turned it into gold. Such a precise way of looking at things. And these motherfuckers did not know each other and they did the same thing? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. That's what I'm saying. Like, understand the only part of you that's disagreeing is the young, like I said, dumb ass 8,000-year-old part of you who hates the fact that you didn't come first. The antithetical animal necklaces, both Egyptians and the Incas and pre-Incas adorned their deed with gold necklaces, the ends of which are formed by twin animal heads facing outward. Oh my God. Symbolizing our human animal power balance. Our human animal power balance. I just explained to y'all the human similarities of Africa and South America. And these motherfuckers, they're telling you that these people were showing the human and animal balance. And I'm telling y'all the same thing. I'm doing the exact same thing these motherfuckers are doing. I'm showing y'all the balance between nature and humans. In the fact that a leopard is a jaguar as an Egyptian is a fucking Olmec. And for y'all to understand that it is based on the laws of nature and the coexistence of these species, man, y'all motherfuckers is just lost if y'all don't get it, man. You lost, man. You lost. This balance state that this is how the alchemical transformation is achieved, hence the goal. Beautiful. Look at this shit. Similar stone masonry. Pre-Inca. Look at that shit. Boom, Egyptian. Look at that shit. Like I said again, look at theirs. You can tell who is the most seasoned mason. You can tell. Look at the pre-Incas on the left. Look at all the little shits. Look at the mismatching size, mismatching size stones on theirs, right? Then look at the Egyptian. Look at that shit. Look at that. Look at that motherfucker. Oh, look at that. Look at them stones. Evened out. Evened out. Both Egyptians, Incas, and pre-Incas built very similar looking stone masonry. I'm going to read that again. Both civilizations built very similar looking stone masonry, even down to the detail of carving bulges or bumps in the stone. I'm going too fast. Even down to the detail of carving bulges or bumps in the stones. What is the rhyme, riddle, and reason here? How can this be explained? Well, I'll tell you, you simple motherfucker. That's just because you want to deny the fact that these civilizations come from the same source, and these motherfuckers was cousins. Now, when I say cousins, I mean motherfuckers looked alike. That's why. It's because there's no way people can. We've already just gone through 6 things that are identical. They do the exact same shit, and you are still wondering what is the rhyme, the riddle, and the reason. You understand what part of you is asking that question? It is the Neanderthal part of you that is asking that question. Precision stonework. Both ancient Egyptian and Inca pre-Incas created precision-like stone cuts in their masonry. Precision-like stone, not even precision-like. Our shit was precision. African shit was precision. I don't give a fuck. It wasn't precision-like. It wasn't precision-like. The Pyramid of Khufu is aligned with the motherfucking Orion's belt. That shit is not kinda aligned. That shit is not kind of like aligned. That shit is aligned. That shit is all together put to place. Often no mortar was used. This symbolizes the quest to gain perfection or nearest to perfection, which leads one closer to our spiritual and heavenly home and eternal source. For y'all to assume that these people did not know each other, when you see, look at this stonework, and then you see who's the seasoned stone mason, man. You see it. You see which cousin is older just by the work. Put your 2 cousins next to me. Y'all do some shit. Y'all make a goddamn sandcastle. I know who's the young one who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I know who the grown one who's been around to at least try to make something that stands up. This tells you right here. Look at the Egyptian stone masonry work. Exact, precise, not precise like. And then look at the pre-Inca. That motherfucker looked like he did that shit in the dark. Look like the cousin was trying to teach him with that one. He was practicing on that motherfucker right there, man. The trapezoidal doorway. Oh, just for some reason they all figured they should have doorways and then make the motherfuckers trapezoids. Oh, yeah. Yeah, on the other side of the world, that motherfucker decides to make a trapezoid fucking doorway, let alone a doorway. And then on the other side of the world, they want to make a doorway and then make that shit the same shape. Considering we got all sorts of goddamn shapes out here. The pyramid's triangles. So why the fuck is a trapezoid? You know what I'm saying? Like for them, man, bro. So for me to keep explaining that shit, like I said, man, I'm telling you, like if y'all don't get that shit, y'all are fucking idiots. Built trapezoid, and I'm not talking to my family when I say that. I'm talking to the ones that argue this. And I know that some of my family might argue with this too. But you know what I'm saying? For y'all, like I said, man, uh, there is a main reason why y'all think the way y'all think is because someone has been telling y'all history. You understand what I'm saying? For the longest time. So, and I'm not excusing the ignorance. What I'm saying is that you have more of a journey to figure out who you are than a European. Because a European knows who he is. They know who they are. They can say they're from German, you know, I'm German European, I'm Russian European. You look at a black American and say, where you from? They'll just say Africa. Half of them won't even say that. They'll be like, fuck Africa, I'm from here. They don't even know where they're from. So that's my point is that my family, we got to figure out who we are first before you do anything else. You got to get your identity together. You got to find out, and that's why I'm doing these, these lectures is because I need my family to understand who they are before anything. Before anything, before you step out your house, your parents will instill in you who you are as your last name, your namesake, all of that. Before you leave your house, before you go to schools and kindergartens, you know who you are. You go to kindergarten, you go, my name is so and so. You don't go in there not knowing what the fuck your name is. It's because your parents, they prepare you in regards to your identity. But understand that the black man of today don't know who they are. So I understand when my family argues with me because they have been told by their kidnapper who they were. They have been told by their oppressor who they were. They have been told by their rapist, their murderer who they were. So when I tell them who they actually are, they don't believe me because all these years they've been raped by the same motherfucker who's been telling them exactly what they think of them and who they are. Some people call it the Stockholm Syndrome. Is when you start listening to the person that is inflicting the most traumatic damage to you. You start depending on them because after a while, that's all you know. And then you actually want it. You end up depending on it. Like I said, you depend on it. Because that's one thing people don't understand and forget. That a human being will get used to anything. Anything. You throw a human being in a cage for a little while. I don't want to say human being. I don't want to say human being. We're different. But at the end of the day, like I said, we do adapt. You know what I'm saying? We will adapt to some shit. We really will. So back to it. Both ancient Egypt and pre-Incas built trapezoid doorways, signifying spiritual advancement upward. The trapezoid is similar to a triangle. It's not a triangle. It's similar to it. How the fuck do two different civilizations who never knew each other will do something that looks similar to a triangle when it's not? When they've both been building fucking triangles. It's because they know each other. God damn it. The trapezoid doorway is used by many ancient cultures. It relates a kind of futuristic state of humanity that occurred in the distant past. When people were calm and had attained nirvana, this doorway is a symbol of the high wisdom once possessed by our ancient ancestors. Man, just point after point, man. I'm still sticking y'all. Look at that. Look at them doors. Pre-Egypt, Egypt. Look at those doors. Just the same shit. The same shit. I don't know how y'all deny that shit. Oh man, I'm about to hit y'all right here. Design. Okay, hold on. Let me hit y'all with this right here. Designed with twin symmetrical serpents. Oh my God. I just noticed that too. They both have the. Yo, they both have them. They got. Okay, so on the Inca side, they got just. I want to say that's an anaconda. And then on the Egyptian side, it looks like a cobra, some kind of cobra. As their two serpents of I don't know what. Designed twin symmetrical serpents above the trapezoidal doorway entrance of their temples. The idea of balancing the opposing energies is certainly presented here via these twin animals in symmetrical balanced poses. My God, that's crazy. This balanced opposites image seems to be the ideal that is taught within the building that is entered through these doors. Yo, so you trying to tell me these perfect strangers both put fucking serpents on their doorways? And two of them? And they know each other? I'm dead, man, I'm dead. Elongated skulls. Well, ain't this some shit here, man? Elongated skulls of the children to sharpen senses and improve spiritual insight. This seemingly bizarre practice has not truly raised the eyebrows of modern scholars, not nearly as much as it should, but still explains to you that these people were along the same guidelines. They were along the same guidelines. The obelisk with hieroglyphics. Tell me why, bro. Tell me why they got these. And then America went and stole the one of Memphis and took it over here. Tell me why they got these. And they never knew each other. And then look at how much more sharp, how much more defined Egypt's obelisk is. And then look at the pre-Incas obelisk. Look how it shows you who was the seasoned mason. It shows you who was the seasoned mason. It shows you. Look at this one too. This one looks like it's inside somewhere. The pre-Inca one, that motherfucker's still outside in Egypt. Still in the elements. This one, they got to put it inside. Had to put a little display on it. Look at this motherfucker in Egypt. That motherfucker's still outside right now. Still out there. Built and erected sacred obelisks as devices of profound male power, fertility, birth, longevity, and strength. Great reverence was given to the obelisks. They were among the most revered landmarks. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. I don't know what that's about. I'd hate to think that that's supposed to symbolize a big ass dick. Like I said, I think that's just the Neanderthal trying to break that down. The same way, that's what I'm saying. The same way Neanderthal trying to tell us what's on the cave. Like, motherfucker, you couldn't even talk or write. Like, how you gonna tell us what the fuck? You only 8,000 years old. How the fuck you gonna tell us what anything is? That's 8,000 years older than you. Earthquake-proof temples with pictured writing. So, the pre-Incas, boom, same thing, right? Egyptian, same shit, right? Solar religion. Both Egyptians and pre-Incas used solar symbolism as a definite part of religion, which was identical, not even similar. These motherfuckers ain't saying similar no more. They're saying identical. In Egypt, the solar deity was Ra. In Peru, the solar deity was Inti. In both cultures, you are the solar deity. The sun is a symbol of you, of your soul. Man, this shit is beautiful. You are a soul. You are an eternal divine son. You have voluntarily incarnated in matter, but now have the amnesia of your true spiritual self. You've lost your way home. Which is why they say about us, the melanated ones, that we are the people from the stars, because the only thing that keeps us alive is the stars, is the sun. That's what keeps us going. That's why motherfuckers say that's where we from. We from the stars because that's what makes the skin dark, man. That's what activates all the messages that is going through photons and you know what I'm saying, that are going in and out of my goddamn body. You know what I'm saying? And then they turn into biophotons because I am reading the information, the programming of the vitamin Ds and whatever vitamins that the sun is giving me and the extra knowledge that I don't even know of, but I feel, but I can't label the shit because I know it's feeding me the same way photosynthesis feeds a goddamn plant. That's why we are the children of the stars. And that's why the sun was so important to the pre-Incas, the Olmecs, the Egyptians, because they were cousins and they come from the same fucking source. Hence, skin being dark as shit. Why is the skin dark? It's because of the goddamn sun. What does the sun do? Send information through photons. Now, if you take something that is sending information and then you put two different surfaces on it, you put two different surfaces in front of that, those two different surfaces, they're different. So they will be receiving different types of information, right? So if you take a white t-shirt and set it on the ground in the sun, and then take a black t-shirt and set it on the ground on the sun, one legitimately will be harder than the other. Why? It's because those colors will soak in different amounts of energy. I just explained to you that how a plant grows is the sun. So if the sun is giving you information to grow, don't you think that has an effect on your growth and the speed of your growth? How much information you're getting from the sun, don't you think that dictates how fast you grow? How strong you are? So if a flower that doesn't get sun, is it going to be as strong as a flower that's sitting on a soccer field? No. That motherfucker going to be weak. It's going to be a weak ass plant. Why? Because it cannot soak up enough information from its life giver. That's why if you put a sun in the shade, that motherfucker's going to die. Why? Is because the information that it's soaking up is not enough. Even if you give it an hour, give it some sun for an hour, put it back in the shade, it will be weak. It won't be strong because the information that it needs is not being supplied by the sun. We are the same way as human beings. The same way the sun gives plants and through the process of photosynthesis and gives it its nutrients is the same way we get nutrients when we go outside and we get the vitamin D's and all them other shits from the sun, man. It's the same shit. It helps our bodies, our bones, our hair. It helps all that shit. But now, if we all have different surfaces, different amounts of information is being transferred. If you scared to go out in the sun, if you like a plant, how the fuck are you getting information? Huh? How? If you scared you're gonna burn it, you can't be out there too long, right? So then, like I said, if we put a flower that's sitting in a soccer field all day, compare it to a flower sitting in an apartment all day, guess who's gonna be stronger? We eating tonight. Oh yeah, we eating tonight. Yeah, we smashing everything in sight tonight. Parallel solar symbolism. Used animal deities in symmetrical poses flanking a central solar emblem. Just as the sun strikes a perfect balance between winter and summer, the extreme cold and extreme hot seasons, so it is vital for our own inner sun. The sun symbolizes our eternal soul or self to balance our own positive and negative twin animal energies, urges, instincts, appetites, etc., in order to stay in balance and harmony with nature. With nature, man, y'all, feel me. That's the only way this can work. We have to stay in balance with nature. Having a House, a Congress, and a Senate that has majority one race of people is not a balance in nature nor law. Having schools, hospitals that are majority one race of people running and controlling them is not a balance of nature nor health. Having 1,800 billionaires white and only 10 being dark skinned is not a balanced and fair distribution of wealth. Understand that these imbalances are the reason why we in the shit we in now. The animal on the forehead. I'm on the 14th identical fucking similarities with the pre-Incas and the Egyptians. I'm on the 14th one. Do y'all still think these people are not alike? My Mexican partners, do y'all still think y'all motherfuckers, man, do y'all still think y'all got nothing to do with this shit? I know y'all don't have nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying, y'all motherfuckers came after this shit. And and this is what y'all love, right? Y'all, the Incas, the Mayans, y'all motherfuckers love them. Well, understand where they got the game from. Because you see that Inca mask, right? Okay, now look to his cousin's mask right there. Look at his cousin's mask and look how much more detailed and fine. Look at how much more lines that motherfucker got in it. Look how much more detail the hat got in it, right? Look at the nose. Look at the lips. Look at your lips, man. You got the skinny, weird The shit ain't even, bro. Your ears fucked up, nose, eyes. Okay, let's look at your cousin. Let's look at your cousin. Look at his ears. Look at the definition of the nose. Look at that. All that shit is gold sketched in. That's because your cousin was trying to teach you how to do it, Mr. Inca. He was trying to help you out, trying to fix you up. You know, y'all was doing it together. I'm not gonna sit here and say he was teaching them, but like I said, we know who's more seasoned. The Incas, you can tell they were a younger generation of us, right? They were a younger generation of us. And so the same way I say to y'all that a leopard, you know, is cousins to the jaguar. The same thing. Same thing. Same way. Same way you see a goddamn python is cousin to the anaconda. Same shit. That's nature for you at its finest. Now, the use of the animal on the forehead motif was to invoke the power of the third eye. They both believed in the third eye. And what the third eye is the pineal gland. And that thing is as small as a goddamn mustard seed. And y'all motherfuckers, you know, it's like for people to not realize that back in them days, they knew about the pineal gland. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have x-rays back then. They didn't have none of that shit. They didn't have no brain scans. Both cultures understood that we can create a trance-like state where we awaken our so-called mind's eye, inner eye, or third eye, a symbol of spiritual illumination, thought of existing near the forehead, above and between the two eyes, exactly where the animal is placed in the above image. Like I said, which is where your pineal gland is. And we know what the pineal gland is. That is imperative to any person becoming a person, right? The pineal gland builds all your immune systems, right? It builds your it builds your it builds, what does it build? It builds the three different immune systems in your body. I'm trying to remember all three of them. Anyway, it builds the three different immune systems in your body. It also helps build and protect the brain while it's being while the brain is being developed. It actually even creates this type of mucus. It also produces melanin, but it creates this mucus thing that protects the brain, builds. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue. That's why I'm pausing. But yeah, the three different immune systems in your body. I'm drawing a blank. I've been talking for fucking hours. The three different immune systems in your body is, like I said, is encouraged by the pineal gland. That's the first thing of you that starts developing. Now, the cross symbol, Shakana Ankh, right? Why are they doing the same shit here? The cross symbol, Shakana Ankh, over the doorway. Why they do that? Use the step design motif, which symbolizes the gradual ascent the initial makes on her journey from lower man to ascended human being. Rome wasn't built in a day. Don't you find your Christ within or your Buddha within in one day? Ascension takes time and effort. So, like I said, man, that's the 15th similarity, like identical. It's not necessarily identical. Identical. The triptych, the triptych 3-door temples. Look how many of these. Look, 1, 2, 1, 2. Same shit. And if you notice, that middle door looks bigger on both of them. You know what I'm saying? Looks bigger on both of them. Ancient Egyptians, Incas and pre-Incas built the same identical triptych temples. The triptych design is a worldwide architectural phenomenon that graces the facades of temples that symbolizes the same universal religion practiced all over the ancient world. Hence the fucking pyramids. Hence the pyramids. You see, this shit was universal, man. You understand me? We got them. Look, okay. Where's it at? The metal clasp. The metal clasp. Y'all see that right there? Carved stones that were tightly bound together and fitted together with the use of metal clasp. Metal. So that means there was smithing involved. There was blacksmithing involved. This is pre-Inca, goddamn Egyptian times. Metal clasp. That means there was blacksmithing involved. What are the chances that this technique evolved after millions of years of human evolution in the same exact speck of time, give or take 1,000 years on the opposite side of the world? That's bullshit, because that's bullshit. What are the chances? Motherfucker slim to none. Slim to none. Staff god icon. Why does the pre-Inca god have a staff on both arms, and then the Egyptian one got the same shit? Revered staff god icon, which is nothing less than the lost crucifix of the ancient universal religion described above. The inward slanting earthquake-proof buildings. The inward slanting earthquake-proof. These motherfuckers were building, preventing earthquake-proof buildings, man. They both did it. Y'all can't tell me these motherfuckers didn't know each other. 20 anthropoid coffins. Designed anthropomorphic coffins for the deceased and designed those coffins to look like the local god or hero who had defied death and who had to live to tell about it. Same thing. The third eye, solar circle on the forehead. Same depictions on their statues. Depicted circle shapes on the human forehead indicating what the third eye is. I can keep going. Solar image associated with circle eye in the head. Solar image associated with third eye on the head. Same thing. Decorated their third eye or circle eye with the imagery of the sun. The sun is an eye in the heavens. Many ancient civilizations depicted the sun as an eye, not just the Egyptians and Incas. Yeah, because it was a worldwide religion. Because everybody understood. Everybody under the sun, they were under the same fucking information. Under the same information. We're under the same sun. It's got nothing to do with what side of the world you are. It's what sun is you under, man. Because the sun hitting every part of the world. Single eye symbols. What's up with the single eye symbols? Depicted sun eye symbols both associated the sun with an eye and vice versa. Both cultures knew that the single eye, the mind's eye or third eye, sees the inner sun, the inner soul. Megalithic architecture. Look at that. Look at them big ass stones. Built the most important temples using massive stones, each weighing hundreds of tons. Reed boats. Look at the shape. Look at the shape. Dunny. Look at the shape. Built parallel reed boats. Same shit. Floating deities. Both ancient Egyptians depicting floating deities. Phallic symbols. Now that does look like goddamn dick right there. I don't know about the baliscus, whatever they call it, baliscus. That shit right there, that's just nasty. That's fucked up. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about that. That's some other shit. But nevertheless, it's motherfuckers with his cousins. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is both swinging like some champs. You know what I'm saying? Spirals. Pre-Inca. The spiral game was heavy. Depicted spirals to symbolize our entrance-exit from the material spiritual worlds, which worlds encompass both sides of our eternal being. Elaborate temples. Elaborate is an understatement. Designed and built similarly looking temples. Well, you can tell who the seasoned mason is. Who is the seasoned cousin? You can tell. The same way you can tell who's the seasoned, who's the seasoned, spiritual kind of, in regards to who's harnessing the scriptures, right? Who's harnessing the teachings. And so it's like, I'd like to assume that, the origins of the stuff, like I said, started in ancient Egypt and then came, like I said, the same way the jaguar is, got to moving over there to South America, the same way the anaconda went over there, is the same way some of our people went there too. Did the same shit. And then went over to, we talked about it, we went to Spain, there were dark people over there. We talked about that shit. Early in this PowerPoint, we talked about it. Symmetrical serpents balancing. Same thing. Use symmetry in much of their art, balancing left-right, often use serpents in symmetrical poses. Master craftsmanship. Look at this. Look at this, man. Identical, yo. Well, I mean, the Egyptian shit looks a lot more fly. But still, cousin, I see what you did, cousin. Like I see what you did, cousin. It looked just like our shit too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Use very similar stones of stone craftsmanship, but you see, you know what I'm saying? You see what your cousin been in the mason game a little longer than a little cousin, right? You just, you know what I'm saying? You a baby mason. You know, Egyptians been OG on in the shit. They've been OG in the shit. OG in it for a long time. And like I said, you can look who's OG in it and who's not. Symmetrical art. Look at the symmetry. Check out the look at the compare the symmetry with the cousins. Not one of these has been the other way around. Not one of them. I'm on what number? I'm on number 32, and not one of these the Incas look more detailed or more defined or more extravagant. The Egyptians, not one of them have looked more defined and more, you know what I'm saying, more elaborate than the Egyptians. Not one of them. We done been through buildings, art, mass, statues. We've been through all sorts of shit. And we keep seeing the Egyptian, we keep seeing the Egyptian experience in architecture and masonry always superior in appearance, superior in technology, superior in precision, superior in sculpting, superior in detail. You keep seeing. You keep saying design, similar looking artwork with focused on symmetry and esoteric symbolism. Look at that. You got the look at all the fucking animals on the Egyptian one. Look at all the specific detailed animals. This one, I know that's a snake. I know that's a lizard or crocodile or alligator. Some shit. I know that. I don't know what I don't know what I can tell you what this shit is here. Shit, he got a giraffe. He's got a goddamn longhorn. He got an impala. He got a goddamn. He got a guy. Is that a dog? You got a dog in there, bro? That shit is specific. Yeah, that shit is specific. Okay, a 10 hieroglyphic. You know, same thing. Depicted their solar deities as a circle with a dot in the middle, which has also a symbol of the self in both cultures. Same thing. Dot in the middle. Dot in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So, folks, we need to understand. We need to understand that when people try to tell you, especially people that are not, you know, when people that are non-black, or like I said, don't read and look this shit up. I just showed you how I just showed you like 35 identical examples of the relations of the Olmecs and the Egyptians. I just showed you how the Olmecs were at their peak of civilization in certain parts of Mexico, 12,000 BCE. I showed you the article of Naya, who was found in Hoyo Negro, which was a cave in Mexico, and it shows that she was about 11 to 12,000 years old, BCE years old. I just showed y'all that. And then it also showed that Naya has no direct relation to any Mexican or Native American that are modern day Mexicans or Native Americans. They said that a percentage of her they can find, but they are not direct descendants of not even Naya. And Naya is the oldest person that has been found in South America. They were saying she's 13,000 years old, right? So if you do the math, that's around 11,000 BC, right? So my point is that the people that the Mexicans come from and the people that the Native American comes from, they came after, were probably, you know, I don't know how they were made. I don't know if it was some, you know, I don't know if it was some genetic manipulation or just some good old fashioned fucking. I don't know. But my point is that they came after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They came after the fact. They came after the Olmecs. They came after the Olmecs. They came after Naya, because Naya lived during the time of the Olmecs. I showed y'all the peak of the Olmecs was around the same time. So that shows y'all that Naya, not only was she probably wasn't just like no, but well, I'm not saying, I don't know what the fuck she was, but I know that there were cities around her. I know that. I know I know the Olmecs had fucking ball courts around her. I know they were drinking chocolate around her. I know that. I know that. Based on information, I know that. So my point is that these civilizations proving, they're proving not only the age, but that correlates with the same time that that that's the same time that was past 8,000 years ago in regards to the modern European even coming about. This was y'all weren't even around. 12,000 BC, y'all weren't around. Y'all weren't around. 12,000 BCE, white people were not around. 10,000 BCE, white people were not around. 9,000 BCE, white people not around. 8,000 BCE, white people are not around. 7,000 BCE, I think that's, if anything, I'll give y'all that. Maybe 7 to 6,000 BCE, y'all motherfuckers start coming around. So understand that's when y'all come in the game. And then Mexicans, that's y'all come in the game around that same time. Native Americans, same time. Because anything that started being more fair skinned and changing hair and skin from African started happening 8,000 years ago. And that's anything past that was dark as me. And if not me, it's darker than me. So when Neanderthals started mixing with humans somehow, I don't know. But when that started happening and created modern Europeans, that shit was around 6 to 7,000 BCE. Around that same time, around that same time, the some of the hunter-gatherer tribes, that were in the South Americas, and then I would like to assume maybe even some of us might have got in the mix, you know what I'm saying, and made some of y'all, I don't know, but like I said, I just know that we have a genetic difference. So I can't say that y'all come from us. I can't say shit like that because we're not the same. We're not the same. Look at the shit we got. Look at the shit y'all got. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. And then, like I said, the timetables, they don't match. Y'all are as old as 7,000 BC. Us, 3.2 million years. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. She feels good when you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. But see, that's the thing for me. That's the thing for me is that this information, people, y'all need to know. Y'all need to know what's going on out here. And whether you agree or not, then go look it up. And then you can still not agree. Because I've shown y'all articles of scientists or even just journalists who will write shit and based on their biased racist nature or just biased prejudiced nature. See, some people don't even have to just say I hate black people. They can just feel that we're the non-humans. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them, it's not like I just want to kill them all. They're just not. They're not. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't human. They're not like us. Because they've been told all their lives, and history books say that they are Adam and Eve's, and they came up with Bibles, and they civilized the natives and the savages, which were the Africans. And you see what I'm saying? They were told this shit. So they feel like they're the ones that normalize shit. When they come, things were normal. But motherfucker, y'all only been around 8,000 years. Shit been normal, shit been cracking, shit been fine, shit been all sorts of things for the past 3 million years. So you come in the game 8,000 years, you're under the assumption that when you came, everything was gravy. That will give you a certain perception on the world and the people in it and everything else in it. And hence why, like I said, we have a president now who is telling people what to do on land that he knows they have inherently and historically stole and raped and killed for in the most illegal way. And now they want to legally tell motherfuckers what to do when they illegally took the shit. That shit is funny to me. Because you see me, my genes, my DNA, 3 million years old. So when people think like that, it shows me how young they are. It shows me how young their nature is. It shows me how young their their kind is. If you feel that how you instill what you want is by force and violence, right? How you get anything done is by terrorizing. It shows me how immature your kind is. It shows me how immature your civilization is. It's because what does a kid do when he doesn't get his way? Does he talk calmly and get his point across and convey his frustrations and concerns? Or does he just grab something and want to destroy? Huh? When a kid wants something, what does he do? Does he just go ask for it? Figure out a way to buy it? Figure out a way he can time share with somebody? Or does he go over there and just take the shit? You see, it makes sense to me because when you look at it in the perspective of nature, this is a little kid. It's a little kid. And then what's even worse is it's like a mutated kid. You know what I'm saying? It's like the motherfucker got a little bit of ADD, ADD, you know what I'm saying? Tourette's, all that, the Neanderthal shit, all that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not full, but human. So understand that this is a kid, but it's a kid that doesn't have the same genes. We're not the same. Like the motherfucker, we might need to give him some kind of Adderall or some Xanax or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the problem is with a civilization of people who think that how to get anything done is through war and violence and pillaging and colonizing and enslaving, and like that's the only way any modern European or anything white has gained any type of leverage on earth is on the backs of someone else or something else. It's never on their own sovereign will and their own drive and force and hard work. It's off somebody else's back. It's off of exploiting someone or something else. From the royals to the Spaniards to the Muslims, all of them just piggybacking, grabbing somebody's shit, killing it. If Muhammad had slaves, the man of the Muslims, Muhammad, that motherfucker had slaves. He was he was a warlord. He was a warlord. There were slaves back in them Jesus days too. The quote unquote Jesus days. There were slaves back then too. In the Bible, in Paul, somewhere in there, he says something. He says, "Slave, obey your master like your God in heaven." Condoning that shit. So understand, we different type of people because we don't think like that. There was no enslavement in Egypt. There was no enslavement in South Africa, West Africa. We don't do that shit. If we did, it was some kind of indentured servitude, which was like a mutual agreement. Because what we base shit on is nature and spirituality. And if we're not good with nature and we're not good with our spirits, then we don't do certain shit, man. So my point is that to take advantage of a person just because you can, to us, that was morally against our code because we feel like we would pay even more because we have a spiritual God to answer to, let alone an earthly God. We have a spiritual God that we have to answer to. So these things were not taken lightly. Unlike people who don't recognize spiritual gods, like I said, like motherfuckers who came from caves. They don't know what a God is. So why would they be bound to a spiritual morale that keeps them in line? That's why slavery to them was cool, is because they included it in their God. They included it in their Bible that slavery was all right. So what moral compass do you have when even your God says it's okay to put a whip on another man's back and then breed them like fucking animals? How do you reason with someone like that when they pray to a God that allows them to sell you like cattle? How do you reason with that? I'll leave you with that question. Thank you for your time. I hope y'all get the point. This is about knowledge. I want you to question every little thing I said. Look it up. Go look the shit up. That's all I say. Challenge me. Look it up. You know what I'm saying? Family, you got to know this. We got to know who we are. And then we will take our rightful place in society. But until that day, do your homework. You look for your history because they ain't gonna give it to you. You gotta find your history. Talk to your own. Read the books. Filter through the bullshit, the lies. And it's easy for us. It's easy for us to filter through the lies because see this right here. This is cold, people. Which I notice, all this is cold. This is cold. All this is cold. This is all a map. This is navigation at the spot. This is the coldest GPS you could ever think about. This is the coldest OnStar, the coldest satellite system right here. This, all of this. This is cold. All of this. This, cold. You got to use it. You got to use it. All right? It's been fun. Hey, I'm chopping them today, man. Chopping! We was chopping today. We was chopping. Man, eat it up. Eat it up. Eat that shit up. Soak it in, man. Soak it in. Soak it in. All right, peace. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.